Good evening. Welcome to Sawyer Field and Osage High School for tonight's football action, featuring the St. Ansgar Saints and your own Osage Green Devils. On behalf of the Osage Booster Club, we would like to thank everyone for their support of Green Devil athletics and activities. The Booster Club annually donates money to all of our athletic and activity programs and have funded numerous projects to support our students and athletes. Contact a Booster Club representative for more information on joining or supporting the club today. We would like to extend a special thank you to all of our community Booster Club sponsors. You can find them by clicking the link on the event pages listed on your digital program. This is a reminder that sportsmanship is an important part of interscholastic sports at Osage High School. Whether you are in the stands, on the field, or on the court, sportsmanship should be displayed. Osage High School, in conjunction with the Iowa High School Athletic Association, encourages you to be a good sport. Osage High School and St. Ansgar High School thank you for making tonight a positive environment for spectators, players, and officials at tonight's contest. Any fan or patron that participates in behaviors that are not consistent with these expectations will be asked to leave the premises. A special thank you to all of our volunteers making tonight's game possible, and to our amazing field painting crew. The field looks fantastic. Now we would like to welcome our Osage and St. Ansgar cross-country teams as they carry on the tradition of running in the game hall. If you have not had supper yet, go to the Rotary outside of the stadium where they are grilling pork burgers as we speak. $10 for a meal or $5 for just a sandwich. They are located on the south end of the field.
Check, check. All right.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in to the Green Devil Sports Network here on YouTube. I think everything is working as we kind of put this thing together. I'm Nolan Peters. Alongside me, we got Josh Olson back here in the broadcast booth, getting ready for the first football game of the year here in 2024 as it's the Mitchell County rivalry or the Mitchell County Showdown, whatever you want to call it. But the Osage Green Devils hosting the St. Ansgar Saints. Always a good matchup between these two teams. And it doesn't really matter the sport, whether it's football, basketball, volleyball, all that. When you get two schools that are separated by less than 13 miles, Josh, you've been a part of this rivalry. You know what it's like, and it always makes for some good entertainment for the fans.
Yeah, been a part of that from, especially from the basketball standpoint. A little known fact, we didn't start playing St. Ansgar again until early 2000s, late 1990s. So I'm older than that. So the LR Folk Trophy was on a hiatus for a number of years. I want to say it was like 20, 25 years or something that Osage and St. Ansgar didn't play, and then they resumed that here, about a quarter century ago or better. And that's what's fun about this inter-county rivalry is it's spirited.
Mm-hmm.
It's not mean. Out on the field, I'm sure there's some things that get going, but that's kind of how that works. But a lot of mutual respect between these two schools, and that's what you'd expect from two institutions that are highly thought of in the state as far as that goes from a school and athletic program. You got young guy here, Chris Kyle, second year at the helm. He's been a part of the Osage football staff for a number of years before that in various capacities, and then probably one of the longest tenured coaches in the state with Coach Drew Clevenger over on the other sideline.
Yeah, it's his 27th year with the football program, 25th year as head coach, and 186 wins on my count to his credit, to only 69 losses, 23 state playoff appearances for Coach Clevenger, or for the St. Ansgar program, but he did lead them to a state title back in 2011. So, yeah, longtime head coach, and they had a great season last year going 10-1. I believe they lost in the state quarterfinals. It was to East Buchanan is who knocked them out in the playoffs. I think it was the state quarters in Class A, but a very good program, and they're ranked number 7 by Radio Iowa to start the season. So a lot of returning players from last year. They also got some new guys mixed in there, just like everybody, but the expectations for St. Ansgar and Coach Clevenger high as always.
Correct. Yeah, that's it. I just got a text here from one of our many listeners. Thank you for that. 2002 is when they resumed this rivalry, so we're approaching that 25-year mark on that. And back on Coach Clevenger, he's just built a heck of a program here at St. Ansgar. They've always had a good football tradition, and he kind of took that up when he come on board and kind of expanded on it here. So I look for them to go well deep into the playoffs this year. I think of the class of their district will be them and West Hancock again.
Yep, that'll probably be your district title game. I mean, two of the top teams in Class A, especially in the North Iowa area.
Could be, yeah, absolutely. It could be a state semifinal,
possibly
final kind of matchup kind of thing as they're looking forward to it. But as we're discussing kind of the pregame here, one thing we always like to see is the Osage marching band is back out here and led by longtime band instructor Jeff Kirkpatrick. Always has his crew ready to go, and they get better and better each week. A little bird told me, plays bass drum, that they're probably going to just play stationary at halftime. They've had some weather issues trying to get the halftime show correct, so they've just been working on the pregame. And this year's band performance this year is Bon Jovi.
Nice. That's going to be some good stuff.
Yeah, so every 4 years it rotates. So if you're a member of the band, you get to play that show just like the predecessors before you. So,
well, you talked about the weather issues not allowing the band to work on their marching and whatnot. You could definitely see that in the field. You look at the grass here. I mean,
this is a whole different deal.
Yeah, it looks really good compared to a year ago. That it was a very hot and dry summer last year, and the field definitely took a beating. Now the grounds crew, they did a phenomenal job, getting water on it all summer a year ago. But you could see, like, in the corner of the end zones where the sprinklers weren't quite reaching, it was dead there. But no, the whole area here at Sawyer Field nice and green, and it's going to be lit up nicely tonight because we got the new Musco lighting.
Yep.
I'm excited to see that on the football field. They had it last year for track, and it lights up the entire track. So no more dead spots on the football field for the lighting. It's going to be just perfect for viewing.
Sort of field will have a different look. It should be noticeable on camera tonight too. As long as we're on the subject of broadcasting and whatnot, we've got we're all under new equipment here. We've gathered some pretty high definition stuff the way it looks like. I was pretty tickled when I walked in and saw what that camera looks like, and then so go together with that lighting, we should be able to really pop the numbers.
I think so.
The O at the middle, and then the big one I like is that scoreboard cam, where you at home, the viewer, will be able to see what that score is every time. Last year it was a little bit fuzzy just due to the lighting and then the camera, but I think we're going to be good to go this year.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, and everything is still a work in progress. This is only the second broadcast here on GSPN. It is titled wrong on YouTube, so I will fix that. I guess you can only change the name of your YouTube channel twice every 14 days, so that will get changed. The new branding is GSPN, a partnership with Osage High School and the Osage Booster Club. Really cool. We'll talk about some sponsors tonight as the game goes on because we don't have any commercials to play. That's going to change, at some point this year. It's really cool. The marketing students at the school are going to be the ones, it sounds like, putting together commercials for some sponsors that ponied up a lot of money here on GSPN. So it kind of goes through the Booster Club, but then Booster Club money eventually ends up back at the school. So
Absolutely.
A great partnership between those two.
Absolutely, and that's the fun part about it is we're going to try to make this a homegrown kind of a broadcast for that, and give the students there that are interested maybe this in the future, maybe in marketing or journalism, maybe even broadcast television, that kind of stuff, is how do you put together a professional production? And it all starts here with the GSPN branding, and as the kids say, like and subscribe to the channel. That way when you pull it back up, folks, it just pops there. It's in your favorites, no more searching, and you're ready to go.
So yeah, that's definitely a work in progress. We're going to try to make things look different throughout the year. As we get more graphics, things like that, maybe incorporate a live up-to-date score bug. But hey, you got to crawl before you walk, and that's kind of what we're doing here. Is Josh, you got to be careful. Don't lean too far. You're going to get your head right in that the camera for the scoreboard.
I don't think there'll be a glare this time of day off it on that.
No sun.
So
yeah,
I'm excited here. We got players lining up. We've got the tunnel filling with smoke. Here come the guys right out the tunnel.
The 2024 Green Devil football team has taken the field for the first time.
Brock Trees, number 5, leading the way out. He is, as the kids would say, geeked. That's probably not the correct terminology. I'm sure I'll get corrected on that, but can't help. You and I both had the privilege of playing this sport in high school, and there's just something special about Friday nights, strapping on the pads and getting together to go out with your brothers, your friends. You've bled, you've sweated, you're hurting, you're tired, and now it finally kind of comes out. Last week they had a little bit of it when Clear Lake was in town for a scrimmage, but this is live action.
And Clear Lake, they're going to be a very good football team in Class 3A this year, and just watching some of that scrimmage, Osage on the smaller end, but they held their own. One thing that's going to be, I think their key or their strength this year defensively is speed and quickness. You're going to see sometimes this year they're going to give up size to their opponent, but they're going to make up for that with their quickness. And that was kind of the recipe of last year's team. Now, we did have Big Mac Moeller, who's over at South Dakota State this year, but you had him in the middle. But a lot of that defense last year was speed and quickness.
Absolutely, and we might even be quicker this year. So, and with that, we're going to just pause here and listen to the national anthem performed by the Osage Green Devil Marching Band.
There you have it, Josh.
Always some chills when that gets going there. And then the Osage fight song. Sing along at home.
It's football season.
It is football season here.
It came quick. I'm going to say that summer was fast.
You've got a growing family, right? And,
well, not growing anymore. I mean, they're just.
No, they're getting bigger.
I guess they're getting older.
They're getting more active.
Yeah, no
right?
more.
Your days are almost done. Some of the easy ones where you just corral them in a room. Now they're running. And I've had some changes. My son's a sophomore out here. He's playing the big bass drum tonight. And then the twins, effectively here a few weeks ago, we moved them down to Wartburg, and they are in the middle of tennis season. But I believe they're back tonight to watch the band here. They were pretty excited about that.
Yep.
So.
Well, it's filling up here at Sawyer Field, as you would expect. A good
crowd.
sea of green here on the home side, and St. Ansgar, that's going to fill out over there too. And eventually you're going to have people sitting or standing outside the around the track area on the fence.
South side will be full. I know on the Osage side of I call that alumni row at times. So some of the guys that have been out here and played on Sawyer Field will go down there and have some encouraging words for the fellas as they come on and off the field at halftime. So
Osage in their home blacks today, black tops and bottoms. As you can see, the white helmet. They did get some new uniforms this year. That it's kind of like Oregon in a way. They got a lot of uniform combinations. They got new green jerseys this year, so you'll see a nice mixture of some green and black, black and green and white. The black and white, that's always a sharp look. The white, black, white has always looked pretty good. But
absolutely.
it'll be they'll bust out them new green uniforms probably the next home game, I'd imagine, because that's 2 weeks from tonight. But that's also going to be homecoming.
That's homecoming, big game. Got Dyke coming to town. I don't know if Dyke is rated this year, but in my opinion, they probably should be.
Yeah, they have a lot of that was a young team a year ago when Osage went down there and played them, and
that was a fun game.
They had
to
a
cover.
bunch of juniors. I remember that. So they'll all be seniors this year. I think everybody, I want to say it was either offense or defense for Dyke. When we played them, on one of those sides of the ball, everybody was a junior. So you knew as a coach, that's got to feel pretty good. You get everyone coming back. But
right.
Captains working their way out to the field. Ledger Niels out there for Osage, 75. Bo Taylor, number 50. You got number 5, Brock Trees. Number 4, that's Quinn Street. In the street clothes.
Why don't we address that while it's out of the back now?
Yep, and then other captain, I want to get him his love, Alex Machin. But yeah, Quinn Street, unfortunate injury for him a couple weeks ago in practice. So he's got a big club on his hand with that broken hand. But it sounds like, give it a few weeks. They might be able to club it up and get it taped up and everything. He might be able to play in a few weeks, and then possibly, I heard, maybe he could be coming back with no cast on his hand at the end of the season. We'll see, but
we'll see.
Yeah. Quinn, one of the top athletes in North Iowa, a 2-time place winner in the Open 400 in Class 2A, lightning fast kid. And unfortunately, he can't play in this one, but the good thing for him, he's only a junior. He's got one more year with him.
Yeah, he's been receiving some interest from some pretty notable names around the Midwest as far as football offers go, and even to get him back, even from a defensive, maybe you're not going to have him carrying the ball right away, but maybe you get him back where his natural spot is at free safety, and he's definitely an X factor, and that's a game changer when you're not used to that. But Osage has had a week, 10 days to kind of adjust, and Madden Uhlenhop steps in from his wide receiver position and takes over at the helm there, and I believe Madden's brother Griffin steps into Madden's spot at wideout.
Well, Osage is going to be receiving this opening kickoff, working south to north, right to left. It's not on your radio dial anymore. It's on your video screen, on your TV, on your computer, your phone, however you're watching. But if you want to, you can tune in and chat with us here on YouTube. Let us know where you're tuned in at. It's great to have you here on GSPN, the first ever broadcast here with the Osage High School platform. So.
Yeah, the crowd's making noise. Good, got a buzz going. St. Ansgar's filled the stands nicely. This is the way football should look like.
Chase Sweesaw has the ball teed up for St. Ansgar. Far side of the field, back to return for Osage is Brock Trees. On the near side is Sage Christensen. A couple of juniors that had a lot of experience and guys that were relied on quite a bit offensively for Osage, and now they step up in that upperclassman role. As Sweesaw will run up, and we're underway here in 2024 as it's going to be Trees returning this inside the 15, and he's going to be cut down. Ball, oh, I thought the way they were reacting, the ball possibly came out, but nope. Osage.
I think he squirted off the tackle there and might have jumped to the outside the way that was looking.
So Osage is going to start their first series here around the 23-yard line, and that's where we're going to see the senior Madden Uhlenhop, number 2. He'll be the one playing quarterback for the Green Devils, filling in for Quinn Street.
Looks to me on defense there for the Saints. Just looking to see, we got Mr. Dylan Hanson kind of going to be the anchor there, I believe, for them. Number 65. He's an all-state selection, if I remember right.
5 wide here for the Green Devils. They'll bring Trees in motion. He'll line up in the backfield and take the handoff. Runs to his right, spins, and then takes a hit. Couple of yards for Trees on 1st and 10 to bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, I always find on the kickoff, it's always easier to come out and play defense first. That's my usually opinion. The offense has just kind of got to get a rhythm going here, and that's just a nice warm-up. Get the snap back, get the handoff. Now we can go play football.
So they're going to give him, looks like 1 yard on the play. So
there was a cutback lane back there, Nolan, but that closed up quickly if he didn't hit it quite right.
So in the gun again. 3 receivers to the left for Uhlenhop. He'll go right back to Trees. Runs to his right, and Trees is going to be stopped after a gain of maybe 2. So 3rd down and long coming up for Osage.
Yeah, and Osage is I really didn't expect any fireworks right off the bat. We're just kind of going off of here. I'm just looking at what we've got for starters on the Saints defensive line here, and there's a few new ones out here. I'm seeing Joe Clevenger at linebacker, which I thought he might be in there. He started at middle linebacker last year as a sophomore, so he's a kid to watch, coach's kid.
3rd and 6 for the Green Devils. Uhlenhop throws, and it is caught and then ripped away. They're going to say incomplete. As Griffin Uhlenhop trying to make the catch, and it was ripped away by St. Ansgar at the last second. Thankfully for Osage, if they would have called that a catch, that would have been a fumble.
It was bang.
And then it would have been a recovery for St. Ansgar. So Osage will punt here and try to pin the Saints back a little bit deeper for their starting field position.
Yep, that was brother to brother, Uhlenhop to Uhlenhop, and bang play. Well designed. It was there. That was going to be a 1st down. So good play on the backfield there for the Saints, getting a hand in there and clawing at that ball.
Braden Blair back to punt for Osage. A long snapper is the center, Alex Machin. Saints do have a couple guys back to return, and we have whistles, and it is a false start. Osage is going to back up.
Yep.
5 yards here. So first penalty of the year goes on Osage. So they'll make it 4th and about 11 officially, and they'll just line up again and punt this one away.
Yeah. All right, well, get that first jitter out of the way. Good snap. Nice high kick, a little short, but high.
Saints are just got to let it bounce, and it'll take an Osage roll a little bit and be downed inside the 45. So 3 and out for the Green Devils. Here comes St. Ansgar, led by returning quarterback Jay Sweesaw, now a senior.
Yeah, good. Got a good senior class here. I know Coach Clevenger reading the Enterprise Journal there. He's pretty excited about what this group can accomplish with these guys. They played a lot of football here the last 2 years.
So Saints will start at their own 43. Sweesaw goes under center. Dylan Hanson is center, and they'll fake it to the fullback. Second guy through, and a positive gain here of almost 6 yards, it looks like. That was Corbin Michaels.
Yeah,
number 2.
They got Corbin listed at 150. That seems fairly generous on there.
I'm assuming that's a younger brother of Christian Michaels, who graduated a year ago.
Correct.
Christian was a hard-working running back, a really good wrestler, too, for that St. Ansgar program. Second down and less than 5. They'll say 2nd and 4 on the scoreboard. And right up the middle, and Osage made a stop, but a second effort, almost going to give St. Ansgar a first down. That was Michaels again. I think he's a yard shy of the sticks.
Yeah, that was actually Ledger Niels in there, kind of plugged up that hole and then made him earn that. That was a good second effort. They kept the wheels churning there. Another one we got to look out for here is 32, number 32, Dylan Brum. Last year, he's a speedster. He's a track kid. I think he placed very high in the 1A boys track down there. And they popped a couple on us last year with him, so you got to always watch for that.
He is on the sideline right now. St. Ansgar in their wishbone formation. Sweesaw will give it right to the fullback, and Osage stuffed it. It was 3rd and 1, and he's going to lose a yard. It's 4-down territory likely for St. Ansgar.
Gavin Muller with the thump coming in there from his middle linebacker. Nice looking sophomore coming off a knee injury and surgery last year. Didn't get to play at all last year. So
they'll spot it actually at the back to that line of scrimmage. So 4th down and 1, and the Saints going for it here. Inside Green Devil territory.
That yard marker, he looked to be about 2 yards. Was it 4th and 2?
4th and 1.
4th and 1?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll call it a long 1, a short 2. Wishbone again, Sweesaw. Fakes it to the fullback, gives it to the second guy. Through.
I don't think he got it.
I don't know. It's going to depend on the spot. That was Tyson Klein on the carry. Osage is saying he didn't get it, but it's going to depend on the spot. It's very close. And I think he's got it, yeah. You can kind of tell from my view here, Josh, it was right on that. It was right on the stripe where the marker was. So just got it by a half length of a football.
All right. Well, hey. The defense is game right now. Now, St. Ansgar's setting you up here. They don't mind getting 2 to 3 yards a carry. So keep playing to your bases.
4 minutes gone in this first quarter. First drive of the game for St. Ansgar. They'll go right to Michaels, his 3rd carry, and Michaels has got 2 on that one.
There's some hitting going on in there, Nolan. This is where everybody likes to be right now. So, looking at some of these juniors right now for Osage, you got Severin Dodd in an outside linebacker spot, and then you got Cale Muller, who's a sophomore here on another outside linebacker. They're good, quick athletes. They put on some weight this summer. So if they can diagnose that play, they're going to get to that hole pretty quick.
Yep. Call it 2nd and 8.
There's that pass.
Looking to throw. He's got a guy open in the flat, makes the catch. That's Tyson Klein. Klein's got a first down all the way to the Osage 30. A gain of 15 on that little play action there. And Klein makes the catch, a senior here listed at 5'9", 170.
And I was watching Brum, and he caught free. He wasn't the main. I don't think he was even on the hot route there. Isaac Houdek did a good job of staying in his back pocket there.
So the Saints getting close to the red zone. Sweesaw goes right to Klein on a handoff, trying to run to his left, and short gain. Actually, a better run than I thought. It looks like maybe 3.
Maybe 3. Once again, though, Blair and Gavin Muller in there to clean that up. Looks like a gain. I'm going to call it a gain of 2.5, maybe, something like that.
I'll call it 3.
You're going to call it 3?
Just to be different.
We should just start arguing right now.
We'll just go with what the scoreboard says. Scoreboard's going to give them 3.
I'm not trusting those guys over there.
Second down for the Saints as approaching the halfway point of the first quarter. Play action. They'll go to the corner of the end zone, and it's incomplete. Intended for Dylan Brum. There's that speedster on that little flag route to the far pylon.
Bryson Volklander on the coverage. Got a little turnaround, but Bryson can run right along too. So that is a hard look probably for Brum looking back into that sun at that angle. So
4-down territory for St. Ansgar. So they don't have to get all of it right here.
St. Ansgar's probably missing one of their big weapons from last year. Hunter Hillman was a problem in Class A last year from a tight end standpoint.
Shotgun here for Sweesaw. And we got movement.
Yeah.
St. Ansgar was moving before the snap. Yep. So they're going to back up 5 yards. Make it 3rd down behind that line, or the yard marker.
I don't know. Did you catch who that might have been?
Might have been the right tackle.
Right tackle. Just getting a little head start there. That looked like it was going to be a QB keeper, kind of a fake off to Clevenger, and then Swishaw was going to try to take that towards the right side.
Seth Schatz will bring in the play for the Saints. And now Swishaw breaks that huddle. They'll line up here. They'll go back under center. Go in their wishbone formation. One receiver spread out far side of the field. Play action. Swishaw throws, and it's incomplete. Intended for Corbin Michaels.
Well, he needed to lead him on that, and he had it behind his shoulder. That's a hard play for a running back to try to grab. So.
Well, you're at your opponent 32. You're definitely going for it.
Yeah, I'm surprised they've abandoned the run on these last few sets of downs here. So
but here's the type of plays that was.
This was a backbreaker last year.
Yep.
And so
4th down, 3rd down, obvious passing situations, and St. Ansgar made you pay hitting some deep passes for touchdowns.
Yeah. So
and Dylan Brum is in the game. And we're going to get our first timeout as Drew Clevenger, 25th year head coach for St. Ansgar, calls the timeout. Real quickly, I just want to thank some of our sponsors. We got, again, as the year goes on with GSPN, we will have some video commercials. The marketing students will design those, but we'll just read out some sponsors tonight. CUSB Bank, they're doing the free admission for students K through 12 again. So that's always great to see for your regular season events. CUSB Bank helping out with that. But we also got Champion Funeral Home, one of our top sponsors here for the Booster Club. Also Farmers Mutual Insurance Association. State Farm Insurance with Craig Eisenman. Craig's he's been one of our PA announcers over the years, but always a big supporter of the Green Devils, along with Mark's Tractor and Implement, Jensen Seed, Steve Jensen, John Gisselson.
DeKalb Seed, yeah.
Yep. So we'll just list some sponsors out as the night goes on. But here we go, 4th down and long for the Saints. They're in the shotgun, 2 receivers far side of the field as they bring Joe Clevenger in motion. They'll fake it, throw it across the middle, and it's caught. Dylan Brum inside the 10-yard line as he falls down. It's going to be 1st and goal for St. Ansgar as Brum just ran a little seam route right up the middle and
right
good
behind the
pass by
linebacker
Swishaw.
in front of the safety there. And I think Brock he knows what he did. He was watching that backfield a little too long and not kind of swiveling that head a little bit. And he just got behind him. Well-placed ball.
1st and goal for St. Ansgar at the 9-yard line. They'll hand it off right to Michaels. Corbin Michaels gets to the inside the 5. So 2nd down and goal. Looks like the ball is spotted at about the 3-yard line. Long drive here for St. Ansgar, but looking to cash in. Osage went 3 and out to start the game. The Saints, after converting that long 4th down, knocking on the door. And is either a fullback keeper there for Hall, or I don't know, Swishaw actually ran with it.
Yeah,
I think it was Hall.
I think it was Hall. Gain of 2 right down to the 1-yard line, looks like.
So 3rd down and goal inside the 1 for the 7th-ranked St. Ansgar Saints of Class A, coming off of that 10-1 performance a year ago. They beat Osage last year in St. Ansgar 25-24.
Yeah, that was a game back and forth all the way down the wire. It was a fun game to call.
Yes, it was. I think we're going to be in store for another one tonight. Swishaw. Osage is going to make an initial stop, and then I think Hall was the one running the ball.
Yeah, he just tipped over, and I think he laid the ball over because he was stopped. There was just no cleanup from the wrap-up there, so.
It was that, I don't know, that might have actually been, is that Clevenger?
It might have been Clevenger. Yep. Tough to tell from that side of it, but
Guys are piled up everywhere.
Now, right now, this is going to get tougher as the game goes on because they're going to start leaning on you. But right now, the boys in the middle, left guard Aiden Beeson at 260.
Got movement before the PAT by Sweesaw.
I think you missed that to the left, too. And then Dylan Hansen at center at 250 and Braden Halverson at 230 on the right side. That's three big guys in the middle that we're going to have to contend with because I think that's where they like to run through today.
It's encroachment on Osage. St. Ansgar will decline the penalty, and they'll just attempt the PAT again. So they could have moved a half yard closer, but they'll go. So I think the PAT, one of the St. Ansgar kids was saying it was good, so they could have just declined it and took the point. But PAT is good by Sweesaw.
Or is that a dead ball foul that they
maybe
the
can't even do it?
Dead, yeah.
So with 4:25 to play in the first quarter, St. Ansgar leads 7-0. I'm going to give credit to Joe Clevenger on the touchdown run. I could have missed that.
I think you're right. I think I saw 12 from that spot.
So the Saints, they were up 14-0 last year at halftime. Osage would come back and take a 14 or a 16-14 lead, and the Saints would score a couple of touchdowns. Osage got one late to make it a 1-point game, but couldn't get the ball back, and that's where St. Ansgar came back or held on and won that game by one.
Had the controversial pass interference on a 4th down that might have turned Osage back over with about a minute to go to get into position there, and I remember that fairly astutely. That close on this drive, no, we're that close to getting them off the field, and once again it kind of played out like last year. You got kind of St. Ansgar stopped a little bit, spinning their wheels, and then you give up a big pass play. So this really isn't the St. Ansgar team of old. You know, we keep thinking St. Ansgar as a grinded out. Yep. 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Coach Clevenger is not afraid to put the ball in the air if he sees fit. He's not going to handicap his team for the sake of just keep running into a wall. Well, let's see if we can get a big return here. We got to get some blocking up front. We do that. I mean, we got speed enough in the backfield here. The kickoff, we saw the kick. Good kick.
Trees is going to pick it up on the ground at the 10-yard line. Goes to his left, cuts back to his right, gets across the 20, and then stopped shortly after that. So Osage, second possession of the game. They went 3 and out to start. though they almost had a 3rd down conversion, but the Saints made a great play defensively to break up a pass, and we do have a flag on the play. That must have maybe came in late, possible, I don't know.
Maybe a block in the back, hold, or maybe even a face mask.
Well, if it's on Osage, this is really got to hurt you here because you're already at your 20, and
well,
they're
they're
gonna back up. So holding, so a 10-yard penalty, and this is gonna really push you back here as you're gonna have 1st and 10 at your own 10.
Yep.
With 4:15 to play in the first quarter.
Well, it's time to start cleaning up some of this stuff. That's 2 penalties already tonight. Or 3, excuse me.
So in the shotgun, Madden Uhlenhop. Starting tonight at quarterback for the injured Quinn Street. Osage trying to keep it on the ground here. We do have a flag here on the near sideline.
So that's either an alignment
and
issue.
Also one on the far side too. So yeah, something wasn't right there. So
are we misaligned or do we have an encroachment?
False start on Osage. So now you're back.
False start.
Well, St. Ansgar, do you want to decline the penalty?
I would. I'd make that 2nd and 10. I don't want to give.
They got to back them up another 5. So
okay.
1st down and 15 for Osage at their own 5-yard line. 3rd penalty of the game on Osage here in the first quarter. So first game of the year. I mean, you see these type of mistakes. Definitely ones you have to clean up as the year goes on.
Right. You've got a quarterback here that hasn't played quarterback in quite some time, So he's getting into the rest of the guys around him got to get going.
2 receivers spread out to each side. Brock Trees in the shotgun. They'll bring Severin Dodd in motion. Actually, that's a handoff to
that's Gavin Muller.
The sophomore, or excuse me, the junior. No, he is a sophomore. Gavin Muller.
Well,
As
he
the ball
lost
does
the ball,
come out,
but I
St.
think
Ansgar
they're
says they
saying-
have it.
I thought they might be marking it for forward progress.
The officials are talking this out over. You got to spot the ball and say second down.
That might be a gift. That was Gavin Muller in the carry.
Short gain, if any. Muller last year played a couple of JV games and then suffered an injury that kept him out the rest of the year for football and wrestling as well. But back to strength and had himself a pretty good summer. He won a lot of wrestling matches up at Fargo on freestyle and Greco. So now a big factor here on this football team as he's pass blocking on this second down play. They'll go across the middle. The catch is made by Isaac Houdek, short of a first down, but third down and very manageable here as you need to get about 3 more yards and move the sticks.
Yeah, and that might be, coaches, Sandsgar's going to basically make Uhlenhop try to go through the air here. And that's how I would approach it too with a new quarterback.
Well, you got your first completion of the year, so that kind of maybe settles some
you
nerves.
down, yep. It's just a nice little drag route. Everybody clears out that middle, and Sandsgar's just playing kind of a zone, and just a lot of space out there.
Third down and 3, a gain of 12 on that last play. Uhlenhop claps his hands, and we got movement and an automatic first down if that's on St. Ansgar. I don't think Osage moved, so yep, that's going to be 5 free ones for the Green Devils. They'll have their first down of the season.
Yeah, that's going to be Weston Paulson from his defensive end. He knew it as soon as he come across. And that's a good time to throw that in. That kind of helps keep the defense from just pinning their ears back on a third down.
So Osage a fresh set of downs at their own 22 now with just over 2 minutes to play in this first quarter as the Saints leading this one 7-0. They scored on their first drive of the game, marched it right down the field. Osage looking for some points here on their second series. They'll go to Dodd on the near sideline, but it's high and over his head.
Yeah, I think Mad knew right from the start. He telegraphed it, and that playing zone under and zone over, that's a tight spot to try to put that ball in there. So
Severin Dodd, a junior, a kid last year as a sophomore. As the season went on, he worked his way into that offense more and more as an H-back or tight end, wide receiver, wherever you want to put him. I think he'll be one of those guys that will be calling his name quite a bit this year for the Green Devils. Uhlenhop in the gun, Gavin Muller in the backfield with him. It's 3 receivers out to the right. Uhlenhop will roll right, still looking downfield. He's pointing, he wants to go deep, and now he's got to tuck it and run and get a couple yards and go out of bounds on that St. Ansgar side.
So St. Ansgar's playing, it's the same defense they played last year. They're basically 3 deep across the top. They are not going to let anything go over the top. They are just backpedaling to the deepest spot where they can get to. So right now, your route combos need to start picking some spaces between line of scrimmage and, say, 15 yards down the field.
So he stepped out of bounds right at that line of scrimmage, so no gain on the play. 3rd and 10 for Osage with $1:43 to play in the first quarter. In the gun again, 2 receivers at each side for the senior, Madden Uhlenhop. He'll throw to his brother, and the catch is going to be made, but he's quickly down. Just a gain of 5 on the play. Griffin Uhlenhop reels that one in.
That's a long throw from one hash mark to the sideline over there. And Sandsgar on the 3rd and longs is what I'd do too. Don't let Uhlenhop sit that back there and back. We're bringing 5 or 6 guys.
So Osage will bring the punt team back out again after just a gain of 4, it appears. So 4th and 6. Saints drop 2 guys back to return with Michaels and Brum. Punter, Braden Blair. Great punt here. This is going to go over the head of Michaels. Picked up by Brum at the 25 and quickly tackled Sage Christensen down the field to make the tackle, and the Saints will have 1st and 10 at their own 25.
Yeah, Brum had no choice but to field that because it was going to keep rolling. That could have rolled all the way down to the inside the 10-yard line at the rate that was going. So Osage needed that. They need to flip the field here a little bit. You've been playing on that side of the 20, and you just didn't want to give the Saints another spot around midfield.
They're going to spot that actually at the 24. So a great punt and great punt coverage by Christensen to make that tackle on Dylan Brum, a speedster. You let him get to the outside, and he might be gone. So we saw in the shotgun here on the second set of second series for the Saints. He's going to hand off. I believe that was Clevenger again.
So it's right now it's unique. We are not playing safety coverage on a lot of these. We're just going to go one-on-one on the outside. I think coaches think our athletes can run with them, and they're going to give extra help to the interior linemen here on these running plays.
Well, we do got to play at least one more snap in this first quarter. It's play clock down to 15 right now. 2nd down and 9 for the Saints. Sweesaw looking to throw. He's got a guy here on the near side. The catch is made, or no, dropped, by Klein.
Somebody's getting lost right now, Nolan and cover. They're not. That's twice now that Klein has leaked out of the backfield, and that could have been another big play if Sweesaw was just a hair more accurate.
He just slips out there in that flat.
Yeah.
Just a quick play action, and hard to cover. If you're going to have a linebacker go one-on-one with him, he's already kind of has a disadvantage a little bit.
I think it's Brock Trees is drawing the duty on there, and you're watching that handoff, and Sweesaw is very good at the play action. Very good.
In the shotgun is Sweesaw, and we have another timeout by St. Ansgar. That's their 2nd timeout here in the first quarter. 15 seconds to go in this first quarter.
That's a bit. I mean, these are probably for coach. These are good uses of timeouts, making sure guys are on the same page. And if they can get the first down off this play, it's a well-used timeout.
We got a couple of people tuned in saying hello to us. Great to have you guys tuned in here on the first football broadcast on GSPN. If you see that, you can see that QR code up in the top corner. That's a QR code for the Osage Booster Club. That's who basically funds all of this. The Booster Club has went out and sold sponsorships, and then a lot of that money will be worked back towards the school, as that's what the Booster Club does. So big thank you to the Osage Booster Club and their board for partnering with Osage High School to keep all the money local here. That's kind of been the thing. Trying to keep all the money here in town. We've had a lot of great supporters over the years, and now just wanting to give that back to the kids, and eventually we're going to have some kids, get some hands-on learning experience. The Osage students, their marketing class will make some commercials, but eventually we'll work them into the broadcast too. So a lot of cool stuff going on this year. So 3rd down and 9 out of that St. Ansgar timeout. And the ball goes on the ground. Osage says they have it.
Probably was not how they drew that up.
Osage capitalizes off of a mistake. It was as if it was a bad timing there. They brought a guy in motion.
They brought Brum in motion. I believe they were going to either hand the ball off or fake the handoff.
Yes, and just a miscommunication there, or if the snap wasn't in time or whatever. But Osage is going to capitalize, and they have 1st and 10 inside the St. Ansgar 22-yard line.
I'm not sure if I recall that. I think the fake handoff, he had 2 options. He can either continue with the fake and throw it out to Brum on a swing route, or I think Clevenger was going to go through the line and make it back to the left to the St. sideline, see if they could get some daylight. But ball on the ground, Osage jumps on it.
Green Devils knocking on the door. Holahan looks to his right. He's going to throw, and it's incomplete. Might have been maybe
short-armed it.
Yep. Either
You're all right, Madden. Just relax.
He had Christensen open on a deep curl.
Yep. That was a well-designed play because I don't know who ran the fly. He was running the safety off into the end zone.
Yep.
Houdek. And Christensen just had the curl there, and that's one of those throws. It's so open, you're trying to aim it, right, rather than just relax and play catch.
Just short hopped it.
Yep. You could see his arm just kind of. It was just a weird arm motion, and fully expect that here in the first game.
2nd and 10 for the Green Devils. Trees back in the backfield on this set of downs. And they're going to hand it off to him, running to his left. He's got some running room, gets a nice block, lowers his shoulder, and he's cut down inside the 15-yard line. Short of a first down. I think he needs about 4 more yards. It's going to be third down and into the first quarter. Osage trailing this one 7-0 to the St. Ansgar Saints after they scored the only a touchdown on a 1-yard run by Joe Clevenger on their first series of the game. But a good one, Josh, just like we expected.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had a little bit of everything. Some penalties, a turnover, a couple pass plays, and then just some good hard-nosed defense. These are two teams, I think, if they're going to have a great season and do something, the defenses are going to be leading the way, it looks like there. So Osage has got the speed, I think, maybe the edge on the speed across the board, but St. Ansgar definitely has the size advantage when it comes down to in the trenches. And we'll see with the temperature and all that goes, who wins out, who can impose what they're good at better than the other team at this point. So as the teams switch ends of the field here, normally you and I would be discussing what was going on here during commercials, but now we're doing our own commercials.
We're just winging it. Posting scores on Twitter or X, whatever. I still call it Twitter.
Somebody, if anybody wants, can shoot me or Nolan a topic as long as it's readable on the air.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for anything else. Readable on the air. Maybe questions about the season or questions about the district coming up kind of thing. So we're back underway.
Third down and 4 to start the second quarter, and it's going to be third down and long because we have movement on the Green Devils. I believe that's penalty number 4 tonight.
Yeah, and that's three false starts on the offense here. So just a bit out of sync right now on that. I don't know if it's snap count or if we're just, how that is. But generally, if you're going to see it, it's this time of year.
So Osage trying to capitalize off of a St. Ansgar turnover. But looking at 3rd and 9, 4-down territory, you just want to get something here. But 2 guys in the backfield for Holahan. He's going to hand off to Severin Dodd. Dodd right up the middle, gets a block from Christensen, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. Severin Dodd 20 yards out, and the Green Devils a PAT from tying this thing.
Yeah, nice cut back there. Good down blocking from the lineman. Oh, we've got an injured Saint on the play. 57, Braden Halverson holding a knee right now. That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
good looking junior out there.
You never want to see kids get hurt in any high school sporting event. And that's a tough blow there for the Saints. Both teams are going to work the way to the sideline as the medical staff and Coach Clevenger checking in on one of their guys. But heck of a run there for Severin Dodd, and then great blocking downfield by your wide receiver, Sage Christensen, getting a big block. But there you go. I was thinking you're going to see a lot of Dodd this year. He's a kid that's put a lot of time into that weight room. He's a fast kid. He's a heck of a hurdler, and he'll run you over too as a running back if he needs to, and he shows a burst of speed there and finds the end zone.
Yep, and that does a world of good for your offense. Your offensive line feels good. Hey, we got a hole opened up. It was a nice cutback, and part of that when the Saints are running, they're still running that deep safety even in the red zone here. So there's a lot of space between once they start flowing to the ball, and those 2 juniors, Christensen and Dodd, played a lot of ball together, and just a nice cutback off his hip pocket into the end zone for 6.
Nice sportsmanship there as a round of applause for Braden Halverson getting helped off to the field. He's
too bad. He looks like he can't put a lot of weight on that. That's first game of the season. You never want to see that. You don't want to see it at all, but first game, man.
Osage is going to try a PAT here with Isaac Houdek, the kicker. The placeholder is Tate Tabbert, a sophomore. He's actually the backup quarterback on the 2 deep. Machen the long snapper, so trying to tie this game at 7. Low snap, nice hold. The kick is up on the way, and we're tied at 7. The Green Devils, they do capitalize on that St. Ansgar turnover, and we are tied at 7 apiece with 11:53 to go in the second quarter.
Absolutely, that's fun to see. like I said, we talked about at the beginning, Osage has got a lot more questions out here than maybe the Saints do as far as what the team's got going on this year. The Saints had a lot of returning juniors that are now seniors, so we expect them to be solid. We just didn't know quite what Osage graduated a lot of producers last year as seniors, and the senior class is stepping up. A lot of the junior class here, and some of the sophomores here coming through. And I know the sophomore class, the junior class a little bit after coaching them for a few years in YSF, and knew that there's a lot of kids that can play ball here. So. You get the school fight song playing, and just kind of puts you into the next level a little bit here.
So now Braden Blair will tee up the ball at the 40-yard line. The Saints, 2 guys standing at about the 12-yard line. Back to return, you got Michaels on the far side. I believe it's going to be Brum on the near side.
Nice kickoff here.
Going to be caught by Michaels. And he's got some running room, breaks a tackle across the 40, and then touchdown saving tackle there possibly by Blair, the kicker.
Yep.
A nice return there for Corbin Michaels.
The nice part for Michaels is he gets behind those big old blockers there, you kind of lose track of him.
It's hard to.
He's not gifted in stature, but in speed. So good return for the Saints there, and a saving tackle by Braden Blair, and credit to Gavin Muller, who came across the field to clean up with him.
So Osage with a little momentum right now, but St. Ansgar with the football in a tie game. 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll fake it to the fullback, go to Michaels, and Osage has stuffed him.
Man.
Michaels is going to gain 1 yard on the play, but that's it. Osage was ready for that one, trying to go behind his right guard and right tackle.
Brock Trees is fired up. That was a finish right there. That's how you finish. You get them wrapped up in that 2nd and 3rd guy. Go ahead and put them on the ground.
So the Saints are playing with the new right guard as Braden Halverson, he was right tackle. Halverson was a starting right tackle, but went out with that injury on defense. 2nd down, 9. Sweesaw goes right back to Michaels. Michaels hiding behind those linemen, but Osage finds him. He gains a couple yards, so now 3rd down and 7, or maybe a 3rd and 8 actually coming up for the Saints.
I think he gave him about a yard on it, maybe a yard and a half. And so here we just got to look for the play action. Who's ever covering Brum, Brum is a heck of a decoy, too. They're not going to throw everything at him, but you're definitely bringing attention his way.
St. Ansgar, they like those passes out in the flats, too. Those quick little hitters and get out in space, make one guy miss, and you can gain a bunch of yards. So, and St. Ansgar, they're going to call their last timeout. That is their 3rd and final timeout with 10:27 to go before halftime. Osage with all 3 of theirs, and the Saints, they did not like the look on that play.
They did not. And I gotta throw it out there. Bo Taylor, Ledger Niels. I think Alex Mach has been seen sometime here in our defensive front. We're running that 3-4. Some would call it a 3-3-5. We run a kind of not really a monster back, but kind of a hybrid safety linebacker. Brock Trees has been running that spot where you go into coverage or you come up on the line of scrimmage to support the run. And they've been doing a pretty good job here. And I'm looking to see who St. Ansgar's maybe pulled into the line here. Jackson Vroom, I believe he's a junior. He's listed as a backup. I think he's been inserted in at right guard. Move Weston Paulson out to right tackle.
All right, 3rd down and long for the Saints at their own 45-yard line. Sweesaw in the shotgun with 2 guys in the backfield. Straight drop, he'll throw deep, going to Brum, and he's got the catch, and he's got to make you pay. 55 yards, and the Saints are back in front. That was just man on man. Great throw by Sweesaw, better catch by Brum in stride, and the Saints back in front.
I'm trying to figure out if we've got a scouting issue here or what the deal is, because Dylan Brum is speed. 3rd and long. Safety help, question mark, kind of thing. So going to have to get that figured out because this is the same recipe as last year. You do a good job of holding them for 2 to 3 downs, and then they pop the big one.
We'll attempt the PAT again for Suisaw. Made the last one. Osage has moved.
What?
Well, somebody moved.
It
Maybe
was
encroachment on
Severin.
Osage.
Severin Dodd, he saw the hand wave. You got to be watching the ball. That's a YSF thing.
So they'll reattempt. Yeah, point after.
You know, last year we didn't see many PATs from St. Ansgar. A lot of 2-point conversions. So
snap, hold the kick on the way and right down the middle.
Yep.
So Saints
right inside the upright. Well,
3 plays later, back in the lead with 10:18 to go before halftime.
Well, the other thing, Nolan, 2 out of the 3 timeouts Coach Klapperich calls has resulted in nice big plays for him. The nice part for Osage, he's out of timeouts.
Yeah.
So we got that going for us. But yeah, that's a yeah. I'm just that Brum nuked us last year, and he's on pace again this year.
It was a good route.
Good route,
yep.
Good throw.
Went deep, and yeah, a great throw. You got to give a lot of credit to Suisaw hitting him in stride too. Sometimes you get a guy with Brum's speed, and it's easy to underthrow him.
I think Suisaw's sweet spot is sitting back and just launching that ball 30 yards downfield.
Great timing between those two, and
he can just step up, throw it to a spot, and he can run underneath it, where we've seen Suisaw suffer a little bit as he's out routes. You know, they're not hitting the front shoulder, they're hitting back shoulder, but down the seam, yes, sir.
Well, it's looking like we're just getting a typical Osage St. Ansgar football game.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's a defensive battle, then sometimes it turns into a track meet.
Right.
So
we'll see here. We'll see if Osage has got something going. Maybe a little confidence on offense now that they've got some points on the board, and now we're just playing football.
Suisaw will tee it up. Back to return for Osage. Christensen on the far side, and the near side, Brock Trees. It's going to be a kick going to Sage. He'll make the catch and looking for a near side return. Osage has got some blockers there. Sage
hang on to that ball.
Holds on to that ball. He's across the 35 all the way to about the 37. They've actually got to give him the 38-yard line, it appears, or maybe the 37. But great return there for Sage. Good blocking to set up Osage with their best starting field possession, not counting the turnover.
Correct.
At the St. Ansgar 21-yard line their last time they were out on the field.
Yep. So Madden Holahan brings the offense out. Right now there's spots in the passing game are open, and the running game has not been stifled to the point of you got to abandon it. So that's encouraging to see. Just looking here to see if who they've got in on the defensive line for the Saints here. Yeah. They're doing some, it's warm out there. They're doing some subbing.
Holahan on 1st and 10. Pump fakes, he throws. He's got a completion to Dodd, and Dodd drags a defender close to a first down. He's got it. 11-yard gain. Severin Dodd right back to him. He scored the touchdown the last time out, and then drags a defender for about 6 yards to move the sticks.
That was good patience. Madden saw the pocket close, and he had Derek Heeman, coming around from his right end spot, kind of in his face, couple clutches, but he threw it to a spot there and let the athletes grab it and go.
Getting some confidence in your quarterback, Holahan, making his first start. 1st and 10 at your own 48-yard line. They'll go to the sophomore Moeller. Gavin breaks one tackle. He's got a nice 3-yard run on 1st and 10.
That was nice. The first guy to catch him there. Tried to pop him. Gavin kind of just hits him, spins off around, and gets another yard and a half off of that. So
you just got to wonder every time Or, you know, you see these Muller boys and the opposing school. Obviously, St. Ansgar knows the Mullers very well. I mean, we know a lot of people up in St. Ansgar over the years, but you just got to think the neighboring schools like, oh my gosh,
when's this going to end?
Another one, another Muller.
Well, the good news, at least from that lineage, is he is the last of that to go through here. So, at least for a while.
On Bob's side.
On Bob's side, correct.
You do got Cale Muller too. We might see later tonight. Second down, quarterback keeper for Holahan, and he's going to get a gain of maybe a half a yard on the play. Took a hard hit on his way down.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Michaels there. Ducked the block, which when you're Michaels has everything kind of working against him from a football standpoint. Height, size, not a very big guy, but he knows how to play his position. And he just kind of ducked under Trees' block attempt and just tripped him up, allowing guys to come up and hit him hard.
3rd and 5 for your Green Devils. Under 9 minutes to play before halftime. 2 receivers spread out to each side for Holahan, and we have another flag. And that
was Bo Rage.
Osage. They're going to back up 5, and
you can't jump out of your stance like that.
I was going to say it's possibly 4-down territory, but now you're going to back up 5 yards. It's 3rd and long.
The game's so close. I think if you don't get it here, you probably punt it and see if St. Ansgar can go 80 yards. Yeah, we're just the offensive line is just not quite in sync on the snap count. I'm not sure why. It's not like you don't practice your snap counts. I know we're going on claps, those kind of things. I doubt the center's having an issue. You know, Mr. Machen's been doing this for a couple seasons now.
So 3rd down and 10 for Osage. Holahan looks to his left. Now he'll just run. He'll plant his feet, throws across the middle, and they're going to say incomplete. Trying to go to his brother Griffin.
That'll be brother to brother asking. He's got it. Young Griffin will make that catch. That's a tough catch. It's a tough throw.
Yeah, it was a tough throw as Madden was rolling to his left and planted his feet, tried to throw back towards his right.
Yep.
And almost worked.
Yep. He's seeing live bullets here for the first time, and that's a hard thing to game. Even in the scrimmage, that's hard to even diagnose at times. So
Brum and Michaels back to return. Blair with the punt. And Brum will make the catch inside the 20, gets by the first defender, and then steps out of bounds about the 27-yard line. They'll actually spot him at the 28. So a return of about 13 yards for Dylan Brum. So 8:13 to play before halftime. The Saints leading by 7. They will get the ball, or they will receive the second half kickoff.
Yeah, so
big drive here for the Osage defense. You're playing from behind. You don't want to get yourself in too big of a hole here. But the last couple of series, you've been able to stop the run. It's now trying to figure out that St. Ansgar pass. So they'll bring a guy in motion. That's Michaels on a little jet sweep, and Corbin gets to the edge and a good chunk of yards. It looks like 5 on the play. So
that might have been the first time I've seen that formation, almost like a wing tee kind of look there, as you got your wing backs kind of sitting out there, and a little different look for the linebackers to try to diagnose.
2nd down and 5 for the Saints. They're going back to the shotgun. We might have seen more shotgun formation against St. Ansgar in this game than we have, at least in my 6 other years of broadcasting in this rivalry. Here's a beautiful run, a nice leap by Corbin Michaels. He ain't tall. They got him listed at 5'3", but my goodness, he can climb the ladder.
Yep. I know probably coach is going to pull him aside at halftime, go, don't jump. Please,
but
don't
I do
jump
think
anymore.
There is a flag on the play, and it might have been due to that hurdle.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
I don't think you can just straight up jump a guy. There has to be, defenders down on the ground, people like that, a pile. I think with high school, actually, it's not even that. It's a holding.
Right.
But I could be wrong.
Yeah, but I think you're right. That is kind of one of those obscure. It's a player safety rule on that, because that's the thing they don't want is a kid to go up, get put on his head or his shoulder kind of a thing. And
you probably, maybe you do. You might remember Brian Leonard played
Yeah.
college football at Rutgers. He was always jumping over guys. I was back in junior high when he was doing that.
Hurdling guys.
He had Ray Rice and Brian Leonard playing for Rutgers. They were fun to watch back then, and that's what we always wanted to do in practice. You wanted to Brian Leonard somebody. So
right.
I was probably shorter than Michael's there, and I tried to jump a guy in junior high, and I landed very awkwardly on my hip. So
I'm wondering if that was that play might not have been designed to go right. He made a cutback, which caused the hold there. I'm wondering if that's what's going on. Big penalty. Let's see if St. Ansgar can overcome it and Osage can make them pay.
So you're behind the sticks here on second down. Looking to this flat. They'll make the catch, and Osage will quickly making the tackle. It's going to be a loss on the play for the Saints. It's third down and long.
Yeah, it's good to see we got Bryson Bolkinger's in the game playing a little safety cornerback here. Helped on that. Once again, Severin Dodd up from that linebacker spot or we'll call it safety, hybrid safety spot there.
All right, so third down and a country mile. And
where is 32?
Yep. The Saints, like we saw their last drive, they're in striking distance.
He's in the slot here.
You got to know where 32's at. And
where's our safety?
Don't forget about Joe Clevenger and also Michaels.
Uh-oh.
They're going to roll to the right. They're going to run option, pitch it out to Michaels. He's got some blockers, but Osage quickly making the tackle. Brock Trees getting off of a block. It looked like Michaels was going to have a swarm of blockers and a lot of running room, but Brock Trees fights off of a block, makes a tackle, and it's fourth and long, and the Saints, they'll have to punt.
Yeah, just kind of a slow developing play there. Just kind of there's going to be a QB waggle out. I don't ever think that the point was ever to throw the ball downfield. And Osage's team speed in the defensive backfield, that's kind of their MO. If they're going to make hay, that's where it's at.
So Swee saw the punter. His quarterback, kicker, punter. He does a lot for the Saints. Great punt. Christensen makes a catch at the 37, makes one guy miss, gets across the 45, and a nice 11-yard punt return for Sage Christensen. And we do have a flag in the play. I saw St. Ansgar coaches were calling for it on the far sideline, and the official
block in the back maybe or something.
The official, I think, saw it, but he was just waiting to get into a good spot. It's going to be a blindside block. That's what it is. It's an illegal blindside block. But Josh, again, another penalty. On your Green Devils, and you're kind of your own worst enemy at the moment.
Yeah, we had some of that going on last year, right? And they aren't the unsportsmanlike penalties. We haven't seen that, the wolfing after the play, but it negates a big run, and
15-yard loss there. You had a great return by Christensen. I didn't see who committed the penalty,
but the rule of thumb is, we know that, is if you can't see their number in front of you,
can't see the front of the jersey, don't
you got to lay off. Yep. I know everybody wants that decleater. They want that,
the good old ear hole.
They want the GSPN highlight, right? kind of thing, but it hurts you more than it helps.
So back at your own 30 to start this set of downs. The Green Devils down by 7. Holahan pump fakes. He throws. He's got Christensen, but it's intercepted. It's high, and it's picked off by Brum. Wrestled out of bounds by Dodd. But Osage, with their first turnover of the game, and the Saints, good starting field position here as they're at the Green Devil 32.
You know, he had it there. He airmailed it a little bit. Christensen was free over the middle, but once again, if you're not going to be accurate there, that 3-deep safety, that 3-deep look is just waiting for an overthrow. That's what they're doing here. And right now Osage is doing everything they can not to get back into the lead, get back into a tie game. I don't know how many toes left we're going to have by halftime, but not many.
So 1st and 10 Saints at the Green Devil 32 after Osage's first turnover. Play action. Sweesaw throws far side. It is caught by Klein, and Klein with a double-digit play of about 15 yards inside the red zone.
And I'm not going to pick on the kid. We saw a heck of an athlete, but if that ball is thrown in front and he can catch on the run, that's probably 6. All right, well, let's see. The Green Devil defense has been out on the field a long time tonight.
1st and 10, St. Ansgar. at the 18, they say. They'll go on the ground to Corbin Michaels. He gets close to the 15.
Michaels on the carry for the Saints.
Under 5 minutes to play before halftime. The Saints are set to receive the second half kickoff. So defense here, you got to bow up, bend a little bit, but man, keep him out of the end zone. That would be a huge win going into halftime possibly.
Yeah, 4 minutes to half to see. Like I say, they've been on defense quite a bit this half. See if you can beg, borrow, and steal one more deal out of it.
Hand off Michaels, running to his right, makes a couple guys miss, and he is close to a first down.
He's just slippery enough.
Yep.
Just slippery. First contact there. Brock Trees,
Michaels on the carry.
Machen there, and he just slips the tackle, and he gets another 3 out of it.
So third down, call it 2 for the Saints.
This is where that big offensive line can start to just lean on you here.
Fullback dive, and Osage
I think
may
he's
have stopped him.
I think he's short.
He appears to be about a yard shy of the sticks.
Ledger Niels is doing, he is doing his best Mac Muller impression right now. And that's asking a lot. He on either side of him, all 3 guys in front of him outweigh him probably by a good 20 pounds, and then you compile that when he's probably taking a double team on. And we've seen that from the wrestling room, how he's gotten better and better using leverage and that kind of thing as we've gone along. So
big play in this game right here. 4th and inches for the Saints. Trying to get Osage to jump. They'll go quarterback keeper. Sweesaw's got it.
That's an easy one, yeah.
Sweesaw to about the 4-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal inside the 5.
Coach Clevenger knows that. Why go anywhere else but up the middle for 14 inches?
So 1st and goal at the 3. St. Ansgar already up by a score.
This ball should probably not leave the A gap.
They'll go right back to that quarterback sneak. Sweesaw, his knee is down. At about the 1-yard line.
1.5, somewhere in there.
Osage is going to use one of their 3 timeouts to try to get a chance to score before half. 2:42 to play before the break, and St. Ansgar trying to make this a 2-score game. Coming up around halftime, we will have, I think, Osage Superintendent Barb Schwaman will join us. A lot to talk about with the new GSPN and also just, kickoff of the school year. The first full week in the books. As I believe Osage and St. Ansgar both started last Friday to start the year, and now each school has had their first full week.
Yep. Like setting a watch, as soon as school starts, temperature goes to 85 plus degrees.
Yeah, it gets hot, and then it just
hot.
It's a very bipolar for a while. Yeah.
The new rules in Iowa, the bulb temperature where practices can't be, there's some afternoons where both teams couldn't practice due to safety reasons.
Yep.
So that kind of throws your schedules off. Then you're getting up at, 4:35 in the morning to get some work done, and that throws off some of your school stuff. So.
All right, out of the Osage timeout. So we saw under center. 3 guys lined up a yard right behind him. They'll go to Michaels, and he is in for the touchdown. A 2-yard run for Corbin Michaels, a junior. Finds the end zone, and the Saints extend their lead to 13 at the moment. Now the PAT coming up.
So Osage has got a chance to answer here. I really do feel like there's some spots here for Osage on offense in the middle of the field. There's to run some routes there, even in some delayed drags. The offensive line has done an okay job.
Kick on the way for Sweesaw. It is good, and it is 21-7. St. Ansgar with 2:38 to play and 2 timeouts here in this first half. So Osage, they got time.
Yeah, got time. You just get, once again, penalties on that last drive. Sets you back. throw a pick, and that's 15 yards closer to that. So
each team has capitalized off of a turnover.
Yep. I think I think penalties are what, five or six for Osage, and I believe one offsides for the Saints. Oh, take that back. They had a holding penalty. They've got 2.5.
Mauser Insurance, Cooper's Osage Auto, Countryside Construction, and the Mitchell County.
Well, we've seen some good things out of Sage Christensen on both a kick return and a punt return. So you can really start to see that new Musco lighting.
Yeah.
Lighten up the field here, the new LED lights. Man,
you are correct. There's no shadows out there.
There are no dead areas in the end zones like you've had in previous years. That was an investment well worth it for the Osage High
previous
School.
lights, I don't know how old they were, and I hope these last the same.
They should, last quite a while.
They're probably cheaper to run, too.
Yep, less maintenance. Should be. I mean, pricey to put up, but I think money that you eventually kind of get back.
Yeah, just on power usage.
Now we just got to talk Barb into getting a turf field here. Another big investment, but pays you back too, right?
Maybe, sure.
Sweesaw will kick. It's going to go here to the near sideline to Trees. He'll make the catch at the 15.
No.
And across the 25 up to about the 29-yard line. Second effort to the 30.
So the one thing I've noticed Osage on their kickoff and their kick return, a lot of the underclassmen, second team guys are leading the way out there. I think that's part of that is to keep some miles off of our starters right now. Sometimes that comes at the suffering of your return teams or whatever, even your coverage teams when that goes. So,
all right, 70 yards away from the end zone. 2:33 to play before halftime. Osage with 2 timeouts. The Saints used all 3 of their timeouts in the first quarter. But they got the momentum on that far sideline. Up by 14. Holahan in the gun, claps his hands. He'll go right to Dodd.
That play was done
St.
from the
Ansgar
beginning.
stuffed him. He's going to get 1 falling forward. But the Saints were ready for number 1.
Yeah.
Made that play.
No movement up front from our guys, and it was a slow developing play in the backfield. It just looked off a little bit. So
second down and 9, approaching 2 minutes to go.
Might be one of those things where coach wants to slow play these next 2 downs.
You don't want to give it.
You don't want to give it back to them with a ton of time. And if you get a first down, then you can speed back up.
Right. 2 guys in the backfield, 2 receivers right, 1 to the left for Madden. Looks to his right, rolling right, and he's going to jump throw, and it's completed to Christensen. He's got the first down. There's the athleticism from Madden Holahan, a very good basketball player. Just rolling to his right, jumps up in the air, and just throws a seed right to number 9.
Yeah, unconventional, and that might be how you got to play this tonight. So,
Osage is going to get back up to the line of scrimmage to get the snap as the clock is rolling. Tackled in bounds. Stops for a little bit as they set the sticks, but 1st and 10. Holahan, far side of the field. It's incomplete, going right back to Christensen.
Just take a breath, Madden. Take a breath.
A very long throw there.
Yeah, it just was inaccurate.
But
and he's got shoes to fill in here. I mean, we watched Max Knutson for 3 years.
He broke the record for all-time career passing yards, completions, touchdowns, all that.
Yep.
So
prolific passer, and remember, folks, Madden played the last 2 years at wideout, so he's learning this position all over again.
He's been one of your go-to wide receivers from a year ago. He was their deep ball threat. 2nd down and 10. Madden's going to roll to his left. He's going to take off and run and cut down quickly. Nice open field tackle. Corbin Michaels going low and getting the stop. A gain of 2 for Holahan. 1:15 and counting to play before halftime. 3rd and 7, actually.
We're clock managing right now, I think. There is still time. Nolan, for those of you at home, if the camera can help us out here, there is room in the middle of the field. They are 2 safeties, 2 cornerbacks on a dead backdrop. They are not going to allow anything over the top. So there is some room to make some plays in that middle of the field.
3rd and 7. Holahan plants his feet. Looking to throw. He'll throw it. He's got a guy open. It's his brother. Griffin makes a catch. And then takes a hit at the 41 by Michaels. But a first down catch, and Osage keeping this drive alive here with 35 seconds to go before halftime.
Welcome to varsity football, Griffin. You got good catch, good first move, and then you can't hesitate there. So nice job.
Clock rolling again under center, and they'll spike it with 31 seconds to go before halftime. 2nd and 10 at the St. Ansgar 42-yard line is where they spot it.
Yeah, I think I would have taken a timeout.
Or no, 41, excuse me. I can't read.
I don't know what our field goal situation is. That might be what we're looking at. For certain, St. Ansgar's not going to allow that over the top. This is why there's some stuff in the middle of the field. That's why Griffin, and that was good, Madden. Look back across the middle. The old rule of thumb is don't throw late across the middle. But I think tonight you're all right because there isn't really anybody lurking in that mid-zone.
For the most part, Osage front five has done a good job.
They've done a very good job.
Giving your quarterback some time. Now, it's hard to give a quarterback 10 seconds to throw back there, but they've done a good job for the most part. St. Ansgar with 4 down linemen. And now they're bringing a linebacker. They're going to go deep. And it's got to be caught for a touchdown. Isaac Houdek makes a catch, a 41-yard catch and score. The Green Devils strike quickly with 24 seconds to play before halftime.
Folks, just ignore whatever I'm talking about. 2 deep safeties, and then you're on a straight back pedal, and you still let a guy get behind you. It happens. It happens. I'm guessing coaches on both sides of the ball are going, what is going on here? But nice toss. Madden just, that was a 40-yard throw in the air, and Sage keeps his eye on the ball. Right, excuse me. Isaac Houdek keeps his eye on the ball. Brings that in. Line up for the PAT. Snap, spot, kick.
It's going to go. It's not deep, but it's good. So there you go. Osage only needs 2 minutes and 14 seconds to make it another one-score game. A big answer right before halftime. But the pitch and catch from Holahan to Houdek. I told you it might turn into a track meet. I mean,
we are on our way.
This is I want to say this is year number 8 for me on the mic for Osage, and a lot of times the Osage St. Ansgar games are very low scoring, but someday they're gonna break out and have
someday we're gonna have a 9-6 kind of thing, but tonight is not that night.
It doesn't appear so.
And we've seen it. Both these schools have a tremendous amount of athletes out on the field, and both schools right now have some coaching staffs that are pretty good at finding ways to take advantage of that. That'll be a fun play to go back, Nolan, tonight, pull up the YouTube on a replay, and see how that play developed.
So Blair will kick off.
And I got to say, congrats to Madden. You'll have first touchdown pass of his career.
Yep.
And that's just trusting yourself.
Good hands and eyes by Houdek to reel that one in and walk into the end zone. Brum with the middle return, and he is stopped at about the 34, shy of the 35, I think.
Yep, nice tackle by number 10.
19 seconds to go here before halftime. Now the defense, St. Ansgar, they've been throwing the ball a lot tonight. They can strike quickly with their speedster.
I just don't know if Coach wants to put that up there. I think he likes taking that lead into halftime. You get the ball coming out. Why flip any more momentum Green Devil way?
The Saints are in their traditional formation, the wishbone. Suisa under center. He's just going to take a knee, and the Saints want to go to halftime up by 7. Coach Kyle's going to let him do it. He's not going to call a timeout. 21-14 will be our halftime score. It's a good one here at Sawyer Field. Yeah, it's I don't know, almost scripted, These two teams just doesn't matter what you're ranked. I mean, records obviously aren't a thing because first game of the season, but even if it was, say, late in the year, records would go out the window, rankings, whatever. Osage St. Ansgar always a Good rivalry.
It's always a fun game. The bragging rights are one thing. There's not anything really writing on it for district play or anything. It's just a game that between two, we'll call it in the last 10 years, been very, very, very good teams. A lot of playoff appearances between the two of them on that. And so as the Green Devils run off the field, I think Coach Kyle, obviously you don't want to be down 7 going into the half, but he's got some things he can encourage guys. He also has some things that he can put on the chalkboard and try to correct from a standpoint on just a few things. But defense has played well outside of a couple plays, and the offense actually has done it better than I thought I might see with a new QB. You know, you spend a week or two all summer planning on one thing, and within a week that all kind of goes to a file. So let's see. And as we watch here, the Osage Green Devil Marching Band takes the field to start in on the halftime show this year. Bon Jovi, I think they've got 2 songs prepared, and I think they'll be up to a total of 4 by the end of the season.
Again, you're tuned into the first ever broadcast here on GSPN, the Green Devil Sports Network. New YouTube channel here with Osage High School, supported by the Osage Booster Club. You see that QR code up in the top corner. That is a Booster Club QR code. They're the ones that, as the year goes on, we're going to have some business sponsors, some commercials and stuff like that worked into our GSPN broadcast. And that all goes through the Booster Club. So if you would feel free to donate however you would like to. Doesn't matter what, whatever it is. It all goes towards the Osage High School and these students. So support the Booster Club. If you want to be a business sponsor, contact the Booster Club, and you can get some video commercials or whatever. However, it's really cool. I mean, this is we're starting slow. Just a second broadcast here on GSPN. Barb Schwaman and Rachel Fangmeyer did volleyball last night. Now, they had some technical difficulties early in the game, but hey, they got it worked out. That's what you do when you kind of start with something. You got to crawl before you can walk, and then eventually plan on taking off running some point in this season. But we do got Barb Schwaman joining us here in the broadcast booth. We'll let her get the headset on. All sorts of things to talk about. As Barb, another school year officially underway. I'm sure things have been pretty busy here in your first 2 weeks, Superintendent for Osage and Riceville. But how's it feel to get the school year going here in 2024?
It's always a great feeling to get it going. A lot of work and preparation from the administration goes into starting a school year. And so once we get it up and running, it's just a great feeling. Lots of excitement, enthusiasm for all of our teaching staff and all of our paras, cooks, bus drivers, the whole team that it takes to pull off a school year.
Well, it's something, so much new stuff going on, not only, with GSPN, but a lot of new teachers, whether it's a grade school or high school. Always great to have some new faces and things like that. How's that transition been working with some of the new staff?
Our new staff has been awesome, and we're really blessed to have all of our positions filled. In a time where there's a great teacher shortage in the state of Iowa, the capacity that we still have to attract awesome teachers. And so we're really lucky to have a very talented staff. And right now we don't have a lot of positions open. A few of our positions we still need are in some of our activities. So again, if you're wanting to work with young people in a great school district and be a part of our great team, apply here at Osage.
Barb, you had your hands full last night. You covered that first volleyball game as Osage, a straight set victory over Newman Catholic last night to start the volleyball season. But how'd that go? You kind of running the show yourself last night.
It was a little rough for a while there, but we had some great teamwork. Adam Brinkman and some of our high school kids really helped us read your text messages and figure out what was going wrong with our audio. And we thank for everybody that watched and stuck with us throughout the night. So it was a great night of volleyball. We had a great little crowd. And, again, we're excited for the season. Again, we know that those girls, they lose a little bit and they have to rebuild. And you're having a freshman setter with Emmy Dodd, and she did a great job last night. So that's a real positive. And, again, we've got to remember, coming off of playing 8th grade, but has so much club experience behind her. Jenna Scharper, plays a lot of club ball as well. They didn't get to use her that first game or that first set last night.
I saw that, yeah. She had some issues early.
We had a little
yeah.
earring issue there,
Yeah.
so until we got that out. But I think it was actually a growth opportunity. I told them afterwards, Coach and Jenna, I just said, you know what? Team had to figure it out without you, and that maybe was a good thing in an area that they really could learn from. So, again, a lot of positives. Games set 2 and 3 there. Obviously dominated and did a really nice job, and Coach got a lot of kids in. So again, just a nice way to start the season. We don't have a lot of home matches this year.
Nope.
So that's a big thing is next Thursday. Next week's a huge week. Central Springs versus St. Ansgar. Last night went 5, and Central Springs was able to pull that off. So again, big week for us as tomorrow they're at Independence, and then they go to Central Springs on Tuesday, and then Thursday, come on out to the Osage gym. Osage versus St. Ansgar, Part 2.
Yep, volleyball time. That was a heck of a game last year. I mean, it always is. Again, we've talked about it multiple times in this broadcast tonight. It doesn't matter what sport it is. It's Osage and St. Ansgar are going to put on a good show. So, yeah, get your butts to Osage High School if you can. If not, it'll be here on GSPN. Something else really cool to have, big thank you to the Booster Club working with the school on this, Barb, and just you've talked about it, just trying to keep the money local right here in the school and starting small. I mean, we're looking to incorporate a lot of student involvement with these broadcasts, but how cool is that to just have your own platform?
We're really excited for it, and again, we thank Kiss Country for many years of service. But again, we wanted all those business dollars to stay right here with the Green Devils, and so we're excited for that. The Booster Club's been wonderful to work with. You obviously have, but we have a huge group of people that's working on this. I met with some third period marketing kids, so we're going to start working on getting these ads up and running to the businesses that were promised them, and the kids are going to create them. So I'm proud about our network. One thing that's maybe different than some of the other networks out there is our students are really going to help a lot with it. They're going to be creating the logos. They're going to be creating the commercials, and that's a real-world experience that a lot of them are going to take. If you're taking a high school marketing class, why not learn how to market and how to do that? And we can learn from them. They had some great ideas already today with the students when I met with them. So,
yeah, I think there's a lot of cool stuff you could do. You could also bring them in to the broadcast itself, whether if they want to look at going into this field, whether you want to be a camera operator or a broadcaster. I mean, we'd love to have them on the mic too, get them some hands-on learning experience, because I didn't get to do any of this stuff until I got to college. It would have been awesome to have some high school experience with that type of thing.
Absolutely, and like I said, we envision students maybe doing some junior high broadcasting and get them started at that lower level. And again, it was fun for Rachel to get to do that, and she was a little nervous going into it, but I think she really enjoyed it, and her officiating lens was really good to have that there. When I was questioning a call, she'd be like, no, this is what it was. And so it's just always fun to do that, and you just never know when you're planting seeds with kids. So GSPN will be a great thing for our school district.
Well, remember our first year on the mic together was a state volleyball championship, so it took us a while to lose our first game together, and I don't know, maybe you and Rachel, maybe that's the thing this year, Barb, but what?
I don't know. I mean, are you wanting to give it up? I mean, maybe I should give it up. You never know.
But no, it was cool to just unfortunately I couldn't be there. Nathan turned 6 last night, so
I think that you were in the right spot there, buddy. You were in the right spot, so
it's good to be with the kids. He wasn't too interested in the cake and everything. He wanted to play with the toys more than anything. But when you're 6 years old, I think, the sweets probably come second. But no, I mean, everything's awesome.
It's been a great start to the year. The band sounded great tonight. They look great. The field, I can't say enough about our parents that volunteer and do all of our field work, because it looks the best it's looked in years. Obviously, the weather conditions have helped us, but again, I can't say enough about that group that really works hard on that.
I think it's 2 parts. I mean, the field crew, I saw them working on it on, I think it was Wednesday, doing a phenomenal job. It's in great shape. The weather was good this summer to help it out and keep it green. But then, Barb, you guys installed the lighting last year. I mean, we got to see the lighting for the track meets last year, but now we get our first football game under the Friday night lights, and the Musco lighting, phenomenal job by the school, great investment.
Yeah, it's a great investment. I don't think people understood how bad our lighting was until you see this, and so I've had a lot of questions about the lights that are shooting up, and I can't answer all the technical questions about the LED lights.
So, my understanding with the lights, they shoot up to help block some of the lights going into your eyes. Right? And
something about the lights and the angles and reflection.
Absolutely. It kind of helps, with that.
Yeah, so a lot of people just have been asking questions. Why are some of the lights pointing up? Why aren't they pointing on the field? And obviously, we let Musco do this. It's a great thing. And these lights can actually do some dancing and some things we're not ready to showcase yet. But eventually, we have that package that we can do some fun, special things with. So again, we've invested back in. All of this was paid not by any raise in your taxes. It was all local option sales tax money. We've been saving up, and then we pick off on other projects. So again, softball lights were a great addition. Most people are seeing them for the first time tonight, and I can't wait to see even the pictures tonight. Our photographers have always said what a great job and how nice the lights are.
Well, in Osage High School, too, still building for the future. You got a capital campaign that you guys currently have going on. Talk to us a little bit about that and how people can get involved if they want to.
Yeah, we are very excited about the capital campaign. It's lining up really nice as far as the timeline. Our goal is to start digging and building next spring. So we need about $2.6 million, and right now we're about $1 million away from that. And so again, we had a large $1 million donor, another $250,000, but now the smaller donations, the $50,000s, the $10,000s, the $5,000s, the $1,000s, we will take any donation. In fact, Ellery Rahoot just raised $548 at her lemonade stand because she's a girls wrestler and she wants to see the wrestling part of that as well. Yep. So it's just neat to see people work together. A lot of people will say, well, why is the wrestling room tied in with the concession stand at the field? And it's because so much of the work that's underneath the ground has to be done together. We also know here that our concession stand and our bathroom situation is least than desirable. You know, it's not a great situation. It was built in 1986. It was great for back then, but here in 2024 for a school of our size, it's just not it's not good, and handicap accessibility is a big issue. So the way the plan is, you can watch the video. We need to do some more showcasing of that, but we're looking for donations. And again, instead of raising people's taxes, we're just looking for people that want to have a tax write-off. Yep. And there are people out there that if you'd like to make a gift, we're willing to come, take your picture, talk with you, showcase more of this, and come and talking to different groups around town. Because again, we need the money before we can start. This is a totally different build. We don't have to take it out to bid, so we can have all local contractors do it. And it's such a neat project because everything's local.
Exactly. It's just like the new GSPN, keeping all the money local, but with this new capital campaign, finding local Osage businesses that, alumni that have gone into construction and things like that. So much work that they can do and give back to them.
Absolutely, and that's just it. Keeping that dollar local, getting a great deal from them, keeping them busy. We're just blessed to have a great community where the businesses give back to our school district. And again, we try to work hard to produce a good product and make sure that we're getting kids back and hopefully that they want to come back and move to Osage someday. So that's another great thing as we continue to work on our workforce.
Barb, a heck of a football game here, a typical Osage-St. Ansgar rivalry, a good one. Both teams making some mistakes, both teams capitalizing on mistakes, but 7-point game here at halftime. A lot of football left. I think it's going to be pretty darn exciting. What about you?
I think it's going to be exciting. The Green Devils traditionally come out after the half here at home and usually have a good second half, so I'm excited. This one could go down right to the wire.
I think so. I wouldn't be surprised. But, Barb, great to have you, and we'll talk to you again Thursday.
Sounds great. Thanks so much, and everybody out there, thanks for listening tonight. Thanks for watching. Again, we're really excited to have this go, and I think you'll see a lot of progress just throughout our seasons and where this thing goes for us. So, again, thank you.
All right, that is Osage Superintendent Barb Schwaman joining us here at halftime. It is 21-14. St. Ansgar leading here at the break. They are set to receive the second half kickoff when play does resume, and a good first half. And a lot of football left as we get Josh Olson back in. I guess he never left the broadcast booth, but
yeah, he locked me out.
We'll blame it on Barb.
No, I was getting text messages once again. I'm a big band guy, and have some parents asking. So our cameraman, Maddox Jacobs, never run a camera before, and he's done a real good job tonight. There might be some times where I have to leave the booth and Nolan's got to kind of freestyle his way through it and give him a few pointers. And one of them was Matt took his break, his union appointed break, and had a former broadcaster telling me to shift the camera over so you could see the flags going. I believe he's got a daughter in the flag group here, and absolutely, we can oblige that. And as the team lines up, band's there ready for, I call it running the gauntlet, getting ready to pop the fight song one more time here before halftime.
Hey, big shout out to Craig Eisenman. He's commenting here on YouTube, tuning in from Canada. I was wondering where you were at, Craig.
Yeah, Don't ask Marty how it's going, Craig. So.
I always know when Craig's not going to be here because he's usually asking me to email him the starters, the spotting board. So because he's been a PA announcer for many years here at Osage, and yeah, he likes to know who's normally got to be out on the field. A lot easier to read that than looking at a program of 40 kids on it. But
right.
Join us or comment on the YouTube channel. Let us know where you're watching at. Great to have you, and just the second broadcast here on GSPN. So, like Barb was saying, we're going to find ways to incorporate the students more. Put more graphics on this thing. And we're starting small. We have some big goals, but we got to make sure. The horse knows how to drink water first.
That's it. It's to put it in football sense, it's blocking and tackling, right?
Yep.
Those are the things you need to get good at to have a chance to do great. And once you get those down, you can start adding in some of that other fun stuff. So I'm excited to see where this goes. You just don't, who knows where the road takes me. And I think I'm excited for the next versions of Osage Green Devil play-by-play announcers, color people. I hit a former alum up. He was having some pizza the other night. See if he'd make a heck of a good color guy in the booth, and he'd be a heck of a good wrestling commentator too.
There we go.
All district football player, former state champion wrestler. I think Nolan can probably start guessing who that might be, but
yep.
He didn't say no.
I believe his last name is Muller.
Yeah, and I always take that as a yes.
Yep.
So
I think Barrett would be great to have on the mic. A state champion, would have been a two-timer. I have no doubt in my mind. Barrett would have been a two-time state champ.
Absolutely. He's back in the area helping service homes with Osage. He works for Kenny Services as a HVAC, and from all accounts, his boss is trying to sell him the business. So they must be doing that well at it. But no, with the GSPN going to a kind of a school-based thing, and Barb kind of hit that. We like to keep those local dollars local, and 98.7 Kiss Country and Kickoff Media always did a real good job of promoting Osage sports, and it's just kind of the evolution as high school media issues, media rights, those kind of things. Schools that can do it, schools that if you want to, you can just turn it over to a company like that, and they can do that for you. But I think Osage has got the leadership in place. When your upper management, so to speak, is in line with the goal, that makes it a lot easier to get after. And as Barb was saying, you got marketing kids and marketing classes and art and those kind of things. How do you get to put together some of that stuff? It just it makes sense. It makes sense from that standpoint. So.
It was a lot of fun. A lot of great people over at Kickoff Media. Jim Koloff, the owner over there, a local radio owner with, I think, 12 stations all in Iowa. It's really cool that you don't see many radio stations locally owned. And, I've worked in radio for many years, and it's not too often you get to see the radio owner. So nothing but respect to all of them and what all they have going on. I know they just brought on Bob Fisher to do some news over there, some sports and news. So the local news is coming back to the North Iowa area on radio. So I'm glad
that was a home run hire for.
I knew that was happening. Jim wasn't going to let that go, but no,
absolutely not.
Nothing but great things to say about them, and
I
know Barb has a lot of respect for what they they've helped.
That's not an easy business to be in.
No,
the media business, radio, and selling advertising in the world of the internet. But when I heard Bob Fisher was coming online, it's like, no matter. It's basically the cliche. No matter what the cost, you put a North Iowa legend like that on your staff whenever possible. So,
all right, folks. Second half of football underway as Green Devils kicking right to left. Saints with the return. This is Corbin Michaels.
Good coverage.
And Michaels is going to be tackled as he gets across the 25-yard line. So first possession of the second half, St. Ansgar up by 7. I will say, Josh, it's kind of a transition for me. I've been on radio a lot over the last decade in my broadcasting career. Haven't done just a lot of video only, so it's kind of nice. Like, you feel like you let the camera do some talking for you.
Yeah, that's, hitting your brakes where they're supposed to be, and, oh, boy, we got to come back too early or too late. No, we can kind of cruise right through it.
So St. Ansgar back in the shotgun. We've seen a lot of that tonight with Sweesaw at quarterback. He'll fake it to the fullback. He'll keep it himself on a near option, and he took a big hit. A big hit delivered there. Brock Trees bringing some lumber to the party.
Also, for the first time tonight, I believe this was a player-coach agreement. Jake Kerr's back on the field for the first time tonight. And he
number
was
6.
There on the, I'm going to call him part of the wrecking crew there. But
he's, I believe, led the team in tackles the last couple of years. Remember his sophomore year, he was never afraid to get his helmet into the play, and he's a
heat-seeking missile when he's going.
Yes,
absolutely.
He'll hit you hard. Second down and about 6, maybe a short 7. Option play, far side. Michaels has got some running room. He's got the edge. He's got a first down, driven out of bounds by Braden Blair, but not before Michaels runs for about 16 yards, and St. Ansgar with the first down here on their opening drive of the second half.
Great downfield blocking by the wide out there, and on the edge, they collapse that edge in, and then the only guy left out there is Brock Trees, and he's got a guy in his way. That's hard to tackle a guy like Michaels when he's got a full head of steam going.
So first and 10, St. Ansgar at their own 45. They'll go right back to Michaels. Spins off of a arm tackle, gains a yard or 2.
That's a couple times now he's done that. He gets in there and trying to more of a Tasmanian devil look. He's kind of spinning, trying to spin out of some holds there. But Osage for the most part has done a good job of securing that tackle, securing the wrap up on him.
2-yard gain for the tailback, Corbin Michaels. He's had a touchdown this game. A 2-yard run. The last touchdown that St. Ansgar scored. He's got the handoff once again. He's close to a first down. Actually, no, that was Tyson Klein, 30 on the carry.
Yep, and that was a nice play. I can see this a little bit. Coach Clevenger wants to establish that line of scrimmage again. The guys have had a rest. His big guys up front are fresh. And let's see if we can lean on the Green Devils a little bit and wear them down.
3rd and 2 inside Green Devil territory. Saints leading 21-14, and Osage in the backfield right away, but the Saints are able to get the handoff to Klein. Ledger kneels quickly into the backfield, but Sweesaw able to get the handoff to his senior running back, and Klein is going to get the first down to the 39 of Osage.
Yeah, it's a literal game of inches and seconds there, and just behind, and Ledger gets there just a hair quicker. That handoff's a little slower, and
ball
might
possibly
have
goes
a
on the
ball
ground.
on the ground.
Yep.
But instead, it's a gain of about 10 or 12.
Keep your head up and keep doing that. Osage going with 3 down linemen, back to pass, straight drop back. They're going deep to the far side. It's incomplete.
Good coverage. Almost a great pass.
Step for step there is Bryson Voklander, the junior cornerback, on the
right
coverage.
Running right with him. That's good to see. That was just kind of I'm going to call it a hesitation and go, or a stutter go on that. And Bryson did a good job of recovering, staying in that back hip pocket where the only play they can make would be a perfect throw, and it almost was, but brings up 2nd and long, 2nd and 10.
So a win there on first down. Saints will go option play. They'll pitch it out to Michaels. He takes a hard hit from Trees. Michaels does gain about 5.
Careful on the sideline. There we go. Let him
a lot of mojo flying. You could hear that helmet hit all the way up here.
Trees is possessed right now. He's been that way all game. I haven't seen a let up in energy at all. So
3rd down and 5, or about maybe 3rd and 6, actually.
You know, at 5'10", that's probably high, and 165 maybe. Brock can run. And when he knows how to tackle. That's one of the things. His tackle, he's got great tackling for him.
Saints are going to have to call a timeout. As a late substitution there, they had to get another player out on the field. They only had 10 in formation.
Yep. Once again, another good timeout by Coach Clevenger. I think with that, sometimes there's a tendency to, I got to hold these timeouts till the last minute. Well, if I can win the game in the 3rd quarter using a timeout, then I'll do it.
Some more of our fans tuning in. We have Ray Smith. He's watching from Iowa Falls. He's had Jodany, 1086.
Yeah, I don't. Got the O.
Tune in
got
with
the,
us.
Got the O in the old identification spot here.
That's pretty cool to see you interact with our fans wherever you're tuned in at.
Said he couldn't get to the game. He was probably working or doing something, but he's watching online, and that's exactly what this is for. We always encourage you, if you can, come out. The game is always better live.
Absolutely. 3rd down and 6 for St. Ansgar at the Osage 35. 3 minutes gone already on this drive.
What Osage wants to do here, if they want to bring pressure, or they just fine with kind of 3-man rush with some contain.
Sweesaw in the shotgun. He'll hand it off. Michaels up the middle and quickly wrapped
This is a
up.
4-down territory. That's
Braden Blair, the first one to make the stop. Also in on there was Krebs back again.
Trees has got to be into double-digit tackles here, and at the way Krebsback's going, he probably won't be far behind here.
So 4th down and 5.
Yep.
Gain of 1 on the play. St. Ansgar their last time on 4th down. They hit big and threw a 55-yard touchdown pass.
That's where I'm going to just basically watch where Brum lines up, and he is not in the game, or is he in the backfield?
Wishbone formation. Play action. They'll throw to the far side. The catch is made. Osage there, but he breaks the tackle. A 1st down for St. Ansgar.
Once again,
Michaels again. I think it was Michaels.
That throw was not great, and Michaels bailed him out. That was going to be short of a 1st down.
And he broke off of an arm tackle, too. Osage had a chance to make a stop before the 1st down, but Michaels hard to bring down.
Yep.
And he keeps the drive alive. They gain 9 on the play, and it's 1st and 10 at the Osage 26.
Yeah, Osage, that's kind of been the story on defense a little bit, and they just can't make that play when you need it most.
Fake it to the fullback, pump fake. Now Sweesaw, he's just got to run,
Nice
and he's
play.
quickly tackled. Made
Number 50.
Bo Taylor
Yep,
bringing
Bo
him
Taylor.
down.
Yep, coming in from a defensive end spot.
Gain, now we got a cramp possibly? Nope. Sweesaw, he gets helped up. He's a quarterback, so now he's got
an official's timeout here.
Sweesaw's going to have to come out. The official is making him, unless St. Ansgar's going to call a timeout, they could keep him back in, but he's going to have to be out for a play.
He's got to come out. Okay, so that means
we saw that last year a lot with St. Ansgar.
I think
the cramping in the second half.
Yes, it was. And Clevenger becomes the QB, I believe, on this next down here. Yes.
So Joe Clevenger scored the first touchdown of the game. He'll go under center.
QB keeper maybe at this
Possibly.
point.
Trying to get Osage to jump. He drops the ball. He gets the handoff to Klein.
Wow.
Klein got the 1st down, breaking tackles inside the 10. Another potentially broken play, but St. Ansgar gets a big chunk out of it. And Osage has got a cramp now.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
So just as one player goes down with the cramp, Osage, that is Sage Christensen. He'll get that left leg stretched out.
Yeah. Got to keep drinking water, and at this point, if you're cramping, you're already behind. We talked about that last year. It was so hot.
Yep. It starts early in the week.
It does.
Yep. If you're not well hydrated on a Monday going into practice and staying hydrated, you're way behind.
And there was some discussion on that. I know Osage last year has not had a problem even this year practicing in the mornings. And I know it was documented last year that the Saints had practiced during the afternoon in the heat. And there's always two schools of thought on that. But, yeah, it was getting to be a ridiculous amount of cramps going on.
So we have 1st and goal, St. Ansgar right at the 10-yard line. This is a methodical St. Ansgar drive, almost 6 minutes off the clock. This is the opening drive of the second half. They started this drive about the 35, just slowly working down. They've converted a 4th down on this drive to keep it going. And now knocking on the door, trying to make this another 2-score game. They've led by as much as 14 in this one. Clevenger staying in the game at quarterback. Fake it to the fullback, hands off to Klein. Klein inside the 5. Ball pops out.
Ball
Osage
out.
says they have it.
Ball out.
Still waiting for the official call, and Osage still
Osage.
saying they got it, and
And
they
the
do.
official.
You bend, but you don't break, and you're going to get the ball back down by 1 inside your own 10-yard line.
Yeah, there's been a switch. I mean, we haven't seen Klein run the ball much until this drive, and you got a new quarterback making handoffs. That can always be a little bit of bobbling, but I don't think that was an exchange issue. I think that was just a good tackle, good strip here. So Osage bends, does not break.
I'll correct myself. They're just down by 1 possession. Down by 7. So a long drive of 5.5 minutes for St. Ansgar ends in their second turnover. Their second fumble of the game. Osage is able to make the last one hurt. Trying to do it once again. They'll go under center and a handoff up the middle.
Oh,
Making
he broke
tackles.
to the side.
Trees bounces it out to the side, but short gain on the play.
Yeah.
And they'll bring up second down.
You still got to try it here and there, but I'm pretty sure St. Ansgar's defensive philosophy is plug the middle and then cover the deep, and then try to flow everything back into that interior defense. So there wasn't anything in the middle. Trees kind of just busted her out to the right side.
So second down and a long 9 for the Green Devils inside their own 10.
I hate to say it, on a 90-yard drive, you're going to have probably a big play in high school to get that going.
Green Devils going in kind of an offset eye. They'll hand off here to the near side. Trees lowers his shoulder. Do have a flag on the play. I think this is coming back. He's
Maybe
short of a first down. He's
like
close to the
Was it a
marker.
cut block?
Trees is going to come out of the game, and this is going to be on the Green Devils.
Block in the back or a cut block maybe.
Holding. So that's the call.
And once again, you get that on those cutbacks where the guy blocking doesn't really know where the guy behind him is running the ball. The play's probably designed to get to the outside, get to the sidelines, and try to get down the sidelines. And if he makes a cutback, there's a good chance you're going to get a jersey pull in there.
So keep it second down. They're behind the sticks.
Basically, it cost them about 2 yards.
The Green Devils going in under center to begin this second half. I think now they're going to keep it under center as Matt Newlenhop goes under Alex Machen. Drop back. He'll roll to his right, step up, looking to throw. He'll throw across the middle, and it's caught by Dodd. He's got the first down across the 25, up to about the 30. Severin Dodd reels that one in. We have another cramp for the Green Devils. I think it's Christensen again on that left leg.
Yeah, they're going to have to get him some fluids, maybe give him a few plays off, kind of a thing.
And St. Ansgar has a player cramped as well. I think I jinxed it. They got 2 players, actually. St. Ansgar's got one in the back of the end zone and one where the tackle was made. But
warm all week. You're right. It's starting to show here.
I think all it took is just one guy to go down, and next thing you know, every other play you got a kid going down. So hopefully they're all just cramps. You don't want to see anybody get a severe injury here. And
that looks like a lot of.
Actually, that wasn't even Christensen that went down for Osage. He was already on the sideline. That might have been Houdek.
Maybe.
It's hard to tell with the 8 and the 9 sometimes. That's my excuse.
Sure.
This far away.
Well, once again, Nolan, we're finding some spots in the middle of the field again. Maybe a tad late, but you're gonna see that with Madden a little bit. He just doesn't have the reps to see that field or progression, so he's just basically playing. I'm going to go a little backyard football here, right? He kind of knows where routes should be, but he's really looking for black jerseys in a spot where there's not a lot of white jerseys at this point. So
really cool to see. It was Houdek that had the cramp for Osage, and teammate Quinn Street out there.
This has got to be just absolute torture for him right now.
I know, and Street had an excellent game last year against St. Ansgar. It's kind of his offensive coming out party.
Right. He got beat up hard. I mean, the Saints put a pounding on him, but I think he had like 11, 12 receptions.
Yeah.
And
he was all over the place.
He was all over the place. And he was going to be slated to be a quarterback. I was excited to see what the offense might look with him because he's played quarterback all through middle school and then, the JV stuff. And then as a freshman, he kind of got slotted into the receiver, and he's just as good doing that.
We're back to action here. 1st and 10, Green Devils after the long completion to Severin Dodd to get the first down.
Assume the clock starts on the officials.
Green Devils down 7. 21-14, St. Ansgar lead with 5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Uhlenhop claps his hands, gets that snap. He'll go right to the sophomore, Gavin Moeller.
Gavin's a tough runner, but the Saints will bring pressure. They'll run blitz. They don't have a problem with that. They trust their back 4 guys there, the secondary, to, in case it is a ball fake, that they're going to at least have enough coverage to disrupt the play. So that's another sophomore. We talked about him early, Gavin Muller. I think as the year goes on, he's going to get more carries back there just as we keep – it's going to be a running back by committee for a little bit here.
Osage did that a lot last year, just rotating backs with trees, trying to keep guys fresh in the backfield. They'll go right back to Muller up the middle, and he is wrapped down at the 35. Gain of 6 on the play.
Oh, no.
And now Gavin's down.
No.
He's got both legs cramped up.
Is it cramp? I hope it's cramp. You know, with him coming off that knee here a few years, last year, you just.
Yep, it is a.
Yeah, okay.
They're stretching him out. But, yeah, that's every other play. Guys are starting to get sniped out here.
That was a nice tackle on there. He had a nice hole. He hit that hard. That's one thing you're going to find with Gavin is he's kind of he's a one-cut runner. He's not going to dance around. He's going to put a foot in the ground, and then if you're in the way, he's going to let you know about it.
So a good run there by Gavin. Makes it 3rd down and a long 3, I'd say.
Well, Osage has done right now what they need to. First goal is get out of the shadow of your own goalpost. Now, can we pop another one here and keep the drive going? Pace of play has definitely slowed down.
Yes, it
here a
has.
little bit, so.
Approaching 9 o'clock here on a Friday night. Started at 7. Normally, Osage will have their games kick off at 7:30 the rest of the year.
Right.
Or scheduled to, anyways. Could always change. 3rd down, 3 coming up for the Green Devils, and they're going to back up 5 as Green Devils trying to go on 2 there. And Griff just a little antsy and make it 3rd down and 8.
That ball might have been coming his way. This is a big moment for a sophomore. You know, you're called upon to jump in and pick up where your brother was, who was an all-district performer. Hey, young man, no pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But Griffin was a solid contributor on the basketball team last year, so the lights aren't too bright for him. It's just calm down.
2 receivers at each side, and Madden.
He's got
to run. He's got a lot of running room. He's got a first down across midfield, all the way to the St. Ansgar 49-yard line. A broken play for Osage results into a big gain of 21 yards.
Absolutely. What a play. And I think that's Madden at his best right now, is when he turns from QB into an athlete, just go make a play. And that's well within his scope of talent, is to get out and go. You could see the speed as he turned that corner. And ball on the ground probably helped him. It collapsed that whole St. Ansgar defensive line in, and he just squirted out the side, a gain of about 15.
Inside Saints territory for the first time the second half.
We ran out of time.
Osage, did they delay a game?
Yeah, we
too much time.
Yeah.
So they're going to back up 5, make it 1st down and 15. Now you're back to your own side of the field at your own 46.
Here comes another, when you run, when you're on that side of the field and you've got the ball and you're running plays in, or Mad's got to come get the play. What is the play clock anymore? 25?
25, yep.
Yeah.
So go trips to the left, 1 receiver right. I think it's Moeller in the back. It is, or no, excuse me, that's Trees. And Trees is going to gain 2. They're going to say his knee was down, and then he slid forward for another yard. So short gain.
All right.
2 on the play.
Okay, so regular, for those out there, regular play clock is 35 seconds, but after penalty, it's 25. Is that correct?
20, or
they started at 35 on the.
Yeah, but as soon as the play's over. Yep.
Okay.
As soon as the play's done, and it automatically
or on
starts.
a dead ball, it
Yep.
goes to 25.
I'll say you're correct.
I don't know.
I've always been in the booth. I don't know too much. Play action. They'll throw it out to Dodd. He's got some space. Severin Dodd.
Nice play.
Makes it 3rd and manageable.
Yep. I would guess we're probably looking at 4 downs here.
And Dodd's, seems like whoever touches the ball, he's trying to run it off to prevent a cramp. He's saying he's good.
Yeah.
He's staying in the game.
Trying to think who we got. We haven't seen, I don't think we've seen Cale Moeller yet. He would be a 2 deep backup just to even run a play or 2 between. So
Under 2 minutes to go. 3rd down and 4 for the Green Devils. Inside the Saints 45. You snap it with 1 second on the play clock. Trees breaks a tackle. He's got it. He's got it. He does. Near side officials are already pointing, saying move those sticks. The Green Devils keep this drive alive.
Keep going, Coach. Keep going. Get that play in there and let's go.
This drive started inside your own 10 after forcing a St. Ansgar fumble. Down by 7 are the Green Devils. 90 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter.
What was the clock when we took that ball over?
It was about 6.5 minutes.
Okay.
Because St. Ansgar took off 5.5. Scored no points. Handoff. Trees running to his right. Gets to the edge.
Nice cut.
And he is. Oh, we have a late flag coming in.
So he threw that from.
Yeah,
I don't think it was anybody in the secondary. It was along that line there.
Going to be on Osage. That's going to be that's going to wipe out about a 7-yard run from Brock Trees. It's got to be a hold.
Whoever the back judge there saw
holding,
that from.
It's going to be holding on the Green Devils.
Yeah, that's too bad. It's on the backside of the play too.
So put him behind the stick. Still 1st down. But it was about to be 2nd and about 3. Now you're looking at 1st and 15.
This is a spot. Right now, I think Osage has got a little bit of momentum, maybe a rhythm going.
They'll hand it off. This is Dodd in the backfield. Dodd now finds a crease, pushing forward, pushing that pile. Severin Dodd up to about the 37, a gain of 6 on 1st and 15, under a minute to play in this 3rd quarter.
I like it. It's been ball control. Let's see if we can tire St. Ansgar's front 4 out a little bit. The offense has turned to lean on these guys a little bit. This effectively,
Osage does have to snap it.
barring a incomplete pass, probably the last play of the quarter.
2nd and 9. Osage snaps it with 2 seconds on the play clock. Broken play here, and Madden's just trying to make something out of this. He's got to lose some yards. I don't know what that was supposed to be, but right away you could just tell his body language, not good.
No,
But that will do it for the 3rd quarter.
Well read by the St. Ansgar linebackers there. Not fooled at all on the play action on that. They just outnumbered us on that point, but.
Well, nobody scores there in the 2nd half.
I
St.
guess
Ansgar turned it over. Osage looking at 3rd and long on their first set of downs in this 2nd half. Coming down to the 4th.
Yeah, been a great game. couple long drives in the third quarter. Just two possessions each for this. And I think it's hard to make a call here, but it definitely, I think, will help Osage here, especially if you can convert this, get down there. Even if you can't, if it remains 3rd and long, you're probably going to punt. You're probably going to try to get him inside that 20-yard line, 10 if you can. See if St. Ansgar can go the length of the field, kind of a thing, and then line yourself up, see if you can get a game tie touchdown in here.
21-14 to start the 4th quarter. I do want to thank more of our sponsors. I've been doing a bad job about that. I'll get better. But Scharper Services supporting Osage on GSPN this year. Osage Co-op Elevator, A to Z Drying, Flooring America, Cedar Valley Orthodontics, Dr. Chris Holahan. And if I butcher names, that's definitely on me. I'm sorry. Cedar Valley Seminary Foundation, Herd Insurance Agency, Home Trust and Savings Bank, Mauser Insurance, Cooper's Osage Auto, Countryside Construction, Mitchell County Abstract, Central Park Dentistry, Randy's Neighborhood Market, Top of Iowa Auto Wash, Klapperich Farm Systems, Charles City Hy-Vee, along with Home North Iowa, Wold Rim Wheel, supporting Osage here on GSPN, Smart Pharmacy by Sterling, Atura Architecture, Osage Veterinary Clinic, Town and Country Insurance Agency, Farm Bureau Financial Services Agent J. Jung, Prairie Lakes Church, CIA Insurance, Johnson Oil and LP, and Ringhofer and Company, Stan's Drive-In. Some of our sponsors. We'll go through the rest of the list.
Yeah.
But here we go. Start of the 4th quarter. Osage down 7. 3rd down and 13 coming up for the Green Devils. Hulahan Hop looking to throw. He'll go far side in a diving attempt. It's caught by Houdek. Houdek had a long 41-yard touchdown reception earlier this game, and now he reels this one in. It's going to be 4th down and either 5 or 6.
Yeah,
I mean,
4th
depending
down
on
and
spot.
manageable here. It looks like we're going for it.
Yep.
Which I think is the play. I would say if that's incomplete, he probably brings Blair out for a punt, but this brings it to the spot here.
4th and 6 coming up for Osage inside the St. Ansgar 35.
Let's see if we can work the middle of the field here. I like the idea of the middle of the field again.
2 receivers spread out to each side. Hulahan Hop looking to his right. Wants that curl route. He'll throw, and it is
short hop.
Incomplete. Sage Christensen trying to make a sliding catch, but it did bounce off the ground. It's a turnover on downs by the Green Devils.
Yeah, that's kind of been bread and butter. That's probably a play that Madden likes, that he's comfortable with as far as that. I'm going to call it like a flag route, like a couple, or maybe a zone route. You got a receiver in the low zones, receiver in the mid zone kind of thing. So it was there, just threw behind him.
Well, where that drive started, you were back inside your own 10 with 6.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. You got it all the way to the St. Ansgar 34. Of course, you wanted to come up with points, but you're able to flip the field, not giving St. Ansgar a short field to work with, but they're back at it on offense. They'll go right to Corbin Michaels, and he has got positive yards of about 4 on the 1st and 10.
Yep, the whole idea right now is you flip the field a little bit. Let's see if you can get him out here in a down or 2 and get back on offense and get that going again.
But here's a very important drive defensively. You're down by 7. Don't want to give up any more points. Dig yourself in a hole. Be big for the D-line to blow up a play in the backfield and put that ball on the ground possibly. Handoff. Michaels takes a hard lick, bounces off of it. He's got a 1st down run, stays on his feet and falls down. He actually probably cramped up. He's slow to get up, but man, Corbin Michaels listed at 5'3", very hard to bring down. He took a big hit and just spun right off of it.
Yep. That fatigue starting to set in on both sides of the ball, and that's showing up in some tackling at times where you're not getting as low as you used to. Cramps are starting to set in. I see Gavin Muller kind of hobbling off the field here a little bit, just trying to keep everything stretched out.
10 minutes to go in this football game. St. Ansgar up by 7. We'll hand it off to Klein. And Klein is tackled, but not before he gets inside the 45 of Osage.
Klein, the ball carrier, tackled by Neal. Brings up second down.
It's a nice tandem back there for the Saints to have with Michaels at one spot and Klein at the other. Both kind of similar styles of running. Low to the ground. Keep those knees driving.
2nd and 6. Wishbone formation for the Saints. Ball goes on the ground, and Sweesaw picks it up and able to run.
Jeez.
And get yards.
Crazy.
Multiple times for both teams tonight. Broken plays result in a good play. Not scripted.
I don't know if he picked that up off the bounce or what he did. That's just an athlete making a play at that point.
Yep. 3rd and 1. Inside the Osage 40-yard line. 8:50 to go in the game. Osage down by 7. They've trailed this entire game. They've tied it twice, or tied it once at 7, but have never had the lead. They'll go fake fullback, handoff Michaels. He's got the first down and kind of a little jump cut to get another yard out of it. But a new set of downs for the Saints with 8.5 to go.
Yep, both teams are just kind of bleeding the clock out here a little bit. You know, it's shortening the game up, reduce the amount of possessions.
So ball at the Osage 36.
This is probably that set of downs here, Nolan, that you really got to turn them over.
Yep.
You got to leave some time on the clock to get down the field and not feel like you're rushed with a minute and a half left.
The Sweesaw under center, hands off to Klein, and St. Ansgar offensive line winning the battles in the trenches, getting a big push.
Yep.
As their backs aren't getting touched until they're about 5 yards down the field.
Well, and we were wondering about fatigue. Is Osage is thin up front, thin on the offensive line, thin on the defensive line, and you played the whole game. These guys, Ledger and
Bo Taylor working in Machen and Brandow.
Yep, all these guys. Now it's time. Your linebackers really do have to get in there and just start plugging holes.
And Sweesaw gets a handoff to Klein. The ball.
Jesus,
man.
Ledger jumped that, and I don't know how he hands that off.
Man, Sweesaw just so athletic to get that handoff off. It's a 1st down 2 run by Klein, but Ledger blew it up, and Sweesaw able to make something out of that. And
unbelievable. I think that's Ledger on the ground, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So it stops the clock here with 7:20 to play in the game. Saints have 1st and 10 around the Osage 26-yard line.
Yeah. Okay, Ledger's going to have to.
He'll have to sit out for one play. Alex Machen, after getting stretched out, he's strapping on the helmet to come in at that nose tackle position, most likely.
Yeah. Well, and this do we know who's running defense this year? I don't know who the coach is calling plays here. I know Coach Kyle, I think, is on the offensive call, right?
Yeah, probably. Coach Clay Eustace is back as an assistant coach this year, along with Anthony Machen, Larry Grine, and Josh Lentz return from last year.
So, yeah, I think there's probably some talk in the huddle is when do we start coming down either with a 5-man pinched in front and try to make them go over the top. You're kind of in gamble mode a little bit.
So St. Ansgar taking some time here.
We've got linebackers up in gaps.
Sweesaw being patient, making sure everybody's ready. Still got 20 seconds on the play clock. And it's a quarterback. No, excuse me, he does get the handoff off.
Yeah, he kind of just handed off and then started pushing.
So Michaels with the run, a gain of 3 on the play.
3 downs here to get them stopped.
Brandell will come out of the game as Ledger Neal's back in, missing one play. Osage trying to rotate that front three. Trying to keep things as fresh as he can. 10 seconds on the play clock. 6:20 to go in the game. Handoff to Klein, and he's got the freshest legs of all the running backs. As a lot of the first half was either Michaels or Clevenger, and now Klein, the bell cow, especially in this fourth quarter.
Yep, and this is where that offensive line, the St. Ansgar's MO. However their offensive line goes seems like how their seasons go. When they've got a dominant offensive line, they'll win a lot of games. And right now that big offensive line is paying dividends right now.
Third down and I'm going to call it 2, just the way the chains are set up. Handoff. Michaels.
Yeah.
Michaels drags a defender. He's got the first down inside the 15-yard line with 5.5 to go in the game.
Got a text here. I believe Coach Eustace is calling the defense this year. So
we got a viewer from Byron, Illinois, cheering for number 24, it looks like.
So a relative of
Nikki Mayborn. Great to have you here on GSPN, the first broadcast here on Sawyer Field. 1st and 10, Saints inside the 15, and we have a flag on the play. And I think it looked like he was saying encroachment. Yeah, it's on Osage. They're trying. Osage is trying. They're just basically trying to time the snap count and blow up a play in the backfield.
Yeah, it's kind of a helpless feeling when you're.
Yep.
It's just 3-4 yards every time. You're trying every gap to shoot.
Well, if you give up points here, the game's, it's not over. It's just going to put a lot of pressure on you. You're going to have to score fast.
Correct.
Depending on what time, you're probably looking at an onside kick.
And that's part of I call it the Maddenization of football, right? Is how do you manage what clock you got left? Right now, you're hoping you can stop them.
This is crazy. This is only the third drive of the second half.
Right. Both teams have gone on long drives.
Yep.
Both teams have stopped each other.
It's been a long half due to the stoppages of injuries and cramps. But game time-wise, it's gone very fast.
Right.
St. Ansgar had a 5.5-minute drive that ended in no points. Osage had about a 7-minute drive that ended in no points. And now St. Ansgar knocking on the door.
That
Quarterback keeper Sweesaw to the edge. He reaches for the pylon, and they're going to say he's down short of the end zone, but he's got 1st and goal. And for Osage, I think you'd rather have him in the end zone to give yourself more time, because now you got 1st and goal, and they can continue to run some clock. Unless he stepped out of bounds. He might have went out before they said he's down.
Got him at the 1, the 2? Hard to tell.
Yeah, he must have went out of bounds, so play clock is stopped, or excuse me, the game clock is stopped.
He hit the pylon.
So, but 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. St. Ansgar trying to go up 2 scores. Sweesaw under center. He'll go quarterback sneak. He falls down, and he's not in. It's 2nd down and goal. But more time coming off the clock here in favor of St. Ansgar.
I'm not sure I like that. You spread all your stuff out. You've been running the ball in a tight, heavy formation. Then you spread out on that part of it.
Osage is going to call a timeout here.
Call one here.
That's their first timeout of the second half. It stops the clock with 4:04 to play in this football game. St. Ansgar leads 21-14.
Yeah. Tale of two halves, Nolan. It was a track meet in the first half.
I jinxed that too. I was talking about all the points being scored, and the next thing you know, it's no points at all in the second half.
Yeah, it's kind of that what we kind of expected the start of the season. You got some inconsistencies, you got some flashes of what could be, and then from here on out, it's kind of work on a lot of stuff and see if you can clean up some of those things.
So second down and goal for the Saints out of the timeout.
Just noticed, Nolan, I don't know if we can see it probably not on the broadcast, but there's no lines on the track.
Yep, they got resurfaced a couple weeks ago.
I'm like, God, it looks like a drag strip right now.
And we got, that was the official time or the whistle for getting this play started. I thought maybe St. Ansgar took a timeout.
Yeah.
Second down and goal. For Osage, you're looking to just jump the snap, hit the right gap, and knock that ball loose. They will go quarterback keeper, and Sweesaw is in for a 1-yard touchdown run, putting St. Ansgar up 27-14 right now with 4:07. Time guy actually got back on the clock. So Jay Sweesaw, senior quarterback, his first touchdown of the year. Osage is going to have to go fast. Score right away.
Yeah, you're going to need a good kick return to get you going. Get that energy pumped up, and away you go.
Yeah, just the third drive of the second half. It's going to result in points for the Saints. Sweesaw ready to attempt the point after. The kick on the way is good. 28-14. St. Ansgar trying to win the L.R. Falk Memorial Trophy for the second year in a row. Osage won it 2 years in a row prior to that. Saints got the win 25-24 last year. And looking to take it back to St. Ansgar with them. The trophy's in the press box with us, about 10 feet away. First-year athletic director Keith Cole will award the trophy to the winning team. 4:07 to play in the game, down 14. Crazier things have happened, but Osage, you're going to have to play perfect from here on out. Need a quick score.
Yep, going to need to.
Your defense has been,
been on
fighting
the
as hard as
field
they can, so you're probably looking at onside kick mode. You got 2 timeouts left.
Yep.
But overall, it's just been a good game, a good learning experience for both teams to start the year. I mean, you always have to replace seniors from a year ago. New faces have to step up. And for the most part, been a heck of a football game.
Yeah, it's been a fun one to watch here. If you tuned in the first half or weren't here in the first half and see the second half, the first half looked completely different than what we've got here. And what I notice here for St. Ansgar, they run a lot of starters on their kickoff team. They don't, and that's right now you don't want to give up easy points on the special teams.
Short end over end kick. It's going to bounce, and Osage will have to pick it up.
That's
just
Griffin
in front of the
up.
22. Griffin trying to go far side of the field. There's a illegal blindside block. That's going to hurt the Green Devils.
That would be Tristan Huseman.
A big hard hit. 2 flags on the play, but I think each official saw what we saw.
You can't do that.
That's the problem, especially on kickoffs and when you're running from one side of the field to the other. Man, it is very easy. You see that, you just want to lay somebody out, but you just got to know that you can't lead with the shoulder pads anymore. Gonna extend those arms out, make kind of soft contact with them. You ear hole them anymore, and yep, that's the second time Osage has been called for an illegal blindside block. So now you're back inside your own 20.
That's exactly
with
what
under
you
4 minutes to go in this game.
Want to do on the kick return. That's a teaching moment. He's got a coach in his ear right now, and
the rules changed about 10 years ago or so. They started.
It's been a rule.
Yep.
Can't claim they just started calling it. So
first and 10, Green Devils. Madden Eulenhop looking to throw.
He's got middle of the field.
Middle of the field, and it is caught by Sage Christensen. He goes up, pulls it down in front of 2 St. Ansgar Saints. all the way to the 31-yard line, and Sage is down. He'll need stretched out. Both legs getting worked on. But a nice catch there for the junior wide receiver, Sage Christensen.
Yep, right. Once again, there's a big bubble in the middle of the field. Full of space if you can just get that ball out there. And I think, Madden's going to look back on the film. He's going to see some of that, and he's done some good things with it. So something to build off of as we kick off the season and keep going forward. Next week, the boys are in Garner for our annual matchup with Garner Hayfield. And that's been a game that Osage has played. Probably played Garner here in the last, 10, 15 years, quite a bit.
I don't have the record book with me, but I do know that is the team that Osage has played and won the most games against in school history.
Okay.
So they faced Garner over 50 some times. That's the most matchups in school history, and they have the most. I don't have the book here to tell you how many wins, but I do know that's
and that makes
the most
sense.
wins over one single opponent in school history.
That makes sense. They're old North Iowa Conference opponents, and then both school districts have remained kind of in that same size. So as we move to district football, that's one thing here in North Central Iowa. There's not a lot of two-way schools.
Yep.
So you got to travel, and it's kind of nice having Garner as a familiar foe at that time. So
Osage has another fresh set of downs. 1st and 10. Your own 32 is where they got it spotted. With 3:50 to go in the game. Clock is running. After the injury timeout. Holahan. Step up in that pocket. He'll throw middle of the field. Going for Houdek.
I think that one
It's
just got away
incomplete.
from him. Houdek had a step. I think if he leads him to the hash mark, there's a good chance he might get that completed. So Houdek, another contributor on the basketball team last year, probably looking this year too. Let's see here, Ansgar's just kind of content to play. If anybody gets behind him, there might be a small explosion on the opposite sidelines at this point.
Trips left, one receiver to the right of Houdek. Back to pass. He'll roll to his left, pump fake, sets his feet, fires. It's completed to Voigtlander. Voigtlander shoved out of bounds. That'll stop the clock with 3:30 to go in the game. Another first down for Osage.
Yep, I think if the receiver, some of that is if you just sit, if you just go across the middle and you just sit, the sidelines are full of jerseys, both black and white jerseys. But that middle of the field, if you can just sit and Madden can kind of get your head and scan it, he's going to find you. And there's room there. We've got a Saint here, and we got one of the safeties here. It looks like Seth Schatz is kind of getting some cramp. He's trying to stretch through that.
1st and 10, Osage at the 45. Pump fake. Holahan rolls right, throws in. It is caught. Oh, they're going to say incomplete. Oh, I thought he caught that. That would have been a first down for Voigtlander again, but the official here on the near side does say it hits the ground.
Yep.
He's got better eyes than we do, so I won't argue that.
Voigtlander didn't put up wasn't a demonstrative. I caught it, so go back, keep playing hard.
So 2nd down and 10. With 3:23 to play in the game. Osage down 14. So you need a score, an onside kick, and another score. And Osage is going to call a timeout before the delay of game. So Osage with one timeout remaining now with under 3.5 to go.
Got to remember, when that whistle blows the ball dead, even though the clock stopped, that play clock is rolling.
Thank more of our sponsors tonight: Clark Construction, S&S Meats and Spirits, Melman Construction and Basic Building Supplies, Kibble Equipment, Mike Molstad Motors, Houdek Floorcovering, Progressive Painting Systems, Kenny's Service, Burgmeier Dentistry, Osage Municipal Utilities, Street Chiropractic, Pollard Pest Control, Pop Excavating, Joanne's Tiling, Olson Implement, Osage Towing and Repair, Emerson's on Main, Weber Auto Parts, it's Napa, Weber Auto Parts, there you go. Colbert Realtors, Eleanor Builders, Town and Country Grooming, Randall Construction.
Randall Construction, Scott's Pump House, Gobbler's Roost, Dungy's Furniture, and Grain Millers.
There we go, saving my voice.
Yeah.
All right, back at it out of the Osage timeout, 2nd and 10. They'll throw near side, catch made by Dodd, but quickly tackled by Michaels.
Yep.
He does gain about 6, maybe 7, depending on the spot.
That was a nice pitch and catch.
6-yard gain, 3rd down and 4.
Threw it early enough where Dodd could at least get a few steps in and protect himself.
Trying to keep this drive going, 3rd and 4. Across the middle, it's incomplete.
We got guys, somebody's wasn't on the right route there.
Yep, it looked like it was intended for Voigtlander, but
Dodd was running.
He wasn't looking for the ball, so
That
4th
or-
down and 4. You
yeah.
got to keep it going right here. Definitely need a 1st down.
Probably got one needing to run more of a flatter, kind of a perpendicular route across the middle rather than angling it off.
4th and 4, Osage at the St. Ansgar 49-yard line.
Once again, the offensive line's done a good job of
empty set here for Uhlenhop. They'll throw it out to Dodd, and Dodd trying to get that 1st down, but the Saints are quickly there. It'll be a turnover on downs with 2:45 to play in the game. Osage with 1 timeout remaining. The Saints are a couple 1st downs away from putting this one away.
That's a hard ask to throw it at the line of scrimmage and ask your back to get 5
St.
yards.
Ansgar, they sniffed that out well. Osage brought Moeller in motion out to the left to kind of use him as a lead blocker for that pass out in the flat, but St. Ansgar well scouted there and made the play.
Just took too long to develop, and St. Ansgar well coached.
So 1st and 10 Saints at the Osage 47. .245 to go, so St. Ansgar can't ice the game on this set of downs with Osage having 1 timeout. The handoff will go to Michaels. He's going to break tackles. He's shoved out of bounds.
That's probably
either
not what Coach wanted.
Maybe shy of the 1st down. It'll depend on the spot. The clock will stop here with 2:39 to play. He does not get the 1st down. He's a football length shy of getting the 1st down. But the Saints in a great spot here to
absolutely
move the sticks.
They
Osage
just
would
need
have to use a timeout and
secure the handoffs and just plow forward.
wishbone formation. Jay Suisa under center. Hands it off to Michaels. Michaels does have, well, I think he's got it. Very close. They'll stop the clock for a little bit to spot the ball and take a look. We haven't had any measurements tonight.
Well, they're calling it 3rd. He's short.
They're gonna take a look. The white hat says 1st down.
Yeah, okay.
So
say, if
2.5 to go.
One and then the one in the 1st half, you just go ahead. Let's just be consistent.
When's the last time we've called the game where we didn't see a measurement? It's been a while.
It's been a while.
I'd say it's.
I don't know if there's an official, at the beginning of the season, if that's the point of emphasis, keeping games rolling. Use your best judgment, gentlemen, kind of a thing.
So a fresh set of downs. Clock is running. 2:20 to go in this game. St. Ansgar up 14.
I think effectively they can probably just sit on the ball here. Kneel it out. Does the math come out?
Need usually 2 minutes. They're going to give it to Klein. Klein's going to be tackled. Osage will call their final timeout. With 2 minutes, 1 second to play in the game, So the Saints, if they get a first down, they can knee it out. Osage can get a stop here. But again, got to need a miracle. Down 14. It's been one of those games where
it'll be interesting to see what the stats are when they see those come out. You know, total yards.
Yeah, I think it's
not going to be like a blowout one way on yardage. I think.
Right. Nobody really got. I would say St. Ansgar's got to come away with more yards in this one. They moved the ball down the field, had a couple of turnovers that hurt themselves, but
turnovers kind of the great equalizer. But at the same time, Osage had just too many penalties. At inopportune times, and then.
Well, I think that's something that you're going to be able to come away with in this game. You're down 14 here, 2 minutes to go, but a lot of these mistakes are, self-inflicted.
They're correctable.
So, you can work on that and try to build off of that. I mean, this is basically, preseason. I mean, the real season starts in week 4 when you're going to host New Hampton for district play. You want to, be playing your best football going into that.
Correct. There's nothing here that can't be corrected. It's just one of those games. You look at the box score, like really even game, and that's what it was for the most part.
Osage is going to make a quick tackle in the backfield. Blown up. Bo Taylor just destroys Sweetsaw. Sweetsaw, I think, he was smart there.
He held it right, yes.
Yep, no need to try to force that handoff. Just hold on to the ball. The clock is running, which is benefiting St. Ansgar big time. Osage can't stop it anymore.
I don't know if that was a gap shot or if the guard completely just whiffed on it, because we haven't seen that.
Osage can get the ball back here. You're going to look at about less than 4. If you hold them right here and they run the ball and then you stop them on 4th, you're going to have about 40 seconds to go in the game.
Yeah. But yeah, it's
less. You're going to have about 30.
As Coach
Clevenger's got to call a timeout here. He's going to take this all the way down to a second on the play clock. And just his second timeout used, he used a timeout early
right
in the
away
third
on
quarter.
That first drive.
Used all 3 in the first half in the first quarter. That might be one of the first times I'd say a Clevenger team has ever done that. He probably doesn't.
Probably wasn't real happy about that. But I think he's also very realistic going first game out. You called it, kind of a preseason kind of thing. And as Coach Matt Campbell down in Ames would say at times, a lot of the games are won and lost in the margins. And if you start looking at the margins, that's kind of the tale here between penalties and inopportune times, maybe missing a tackle. There's a chance for Osage to get St. Ansgar off the field a couple times early on 4th downs, 4th and longs even, and we just couldn't kind of seal that deal.
Third touchdown of the game for St. Ansgar was that was their second touchdown, I should say, a 55-yard touchdown pass on a 4th down.
Yep, and so those are real similar to last year as far as how the game kind of played out there. St. Ansgar made the plays when they needed to.
3rd down and long, Saints in their wishbone. 1:13 to go in the game. They'll keep it on the ground to Michaels, and Michaels is going to be stopped for a gain of 1 on the play. But they can run this down, and they're gonna be able to take this down to. They can snap it with about 36 seconds to go. They can snap this. We're not gonna do better math, Josh. You can snap it at 28.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Maybe somebody will correct us. Somebody's watching that. Now we can see the scoreboard fairly decently. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, well, it's a work in progress. St. Ansgar will call their final timeout, so they stop it with 27.7. I got the second guess right.
Yeah, you're good. I forgot this clock will go to the tenths of seconds. So, well, Nolan, you got any big plans for the holiday weekend?
I do not. Probably just sit back and watch some college football.
It is a bit. What did you think of that Colorado and North Dakota State game last night?
Well,
I think there's two top 5 picks on the field for Colorado. After that, she's pretty.
I think if you had FCS officials, that's probably a win for North Dakota State.
Maybe. I'm not.
Yeah,
there was some stuff there.
But UNI fans, they know North Dakota State. They
Iowa State
get
fans,
some calls on the FCF side.
Yeah, that's true.
But
the Bison are they're a team.
That's got to be they're going to be a favorite again, along with South Dakota State.
And that's always been the case on FCS teams, right? Early in the season when they're healthy, they don't have to test depth.
Yep.
They are, all these teams, UNI, South Dakota State, North Dakota State, are always very salty up front. Nobody really wants to play those types of teams.
No.
Coming
Especially
off the
when
bat.
you get 8 months to prepare, whatever it is. Here's a 4th down play for the Saints. They're going to try to throw it nicest thing. Michaels makes the catch. He slips. He's not going to have the first down. It's going to be a turnover on downs. Clock is still running.
That's an odd play call.
The clock is it's a turnover on downs. They wasted about 5 seconds there. Osage should have about 20 seconds on the clock if they put it on, but you're down 2 scores. You have to score on this play to have a chance.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You don't have enough time for 2 plays or more than 2 plays.
What's your go-to with one play 70 yards out?
4 verticals.
4 verticals. There you go.
If you're back to playing NCAA or Madden,
I'm kind of a hook and ladder guy, but that's hard to do. When
you got to save that one.
If I don't see Schweisaw and Shots at the snap turn their head and run, what are we doing here? You got to be on a dead sprint back to like the 40, 30-yard line at this point. They're already moving backwards. So,
Holahan, he throws, and it is incomplete. 10 seconds to go in the game.
There's some gamesmanship from the other side. Bring the blitz from the outside.
Well, you said it. Osage goes on the road next week. They'll take on Gardner Hayfield Ventura. That'll be a 7:30 kickoff. We're planning on being there here on GSPN. And then the next broadcast is on Thursday. Osage will host St. Ansgar in volleyball.
Yeah, that should be a good matchup. St. Ansgar come into the season ranked, but they gave up a 5-set loss to Central Springs, I believe I read.
Who I was surprised is not ranked. I think Central Springs is going to be tough. Here's a incomplete pass with 6 seconds to go in this one. So Osage is going to come up short in this contest. But hey, a lot to learn from. You made some mistakes. You know what you need to clean up.
Yep.
The next 2 weeks as you get ready for district play. That'll be in week 4 here at home with New Hampton.
Just looking through your sheets here. All right, 4 verticals. Looks like we're lining up for it.
Holahan, toss sweep to Trees. And St. Ansgar runs him down.
That's a good play. Just get out of here, you know.
The final buzzer sounds, and the Saints will celebrate. They'll keep the L.R. Falk Memorial Trophy as they win it for the 2nd year in a row. Osage is going to fall to 0-1 to open up the season. They'll go on the road next week and take on the Cardinals of GHB, and then they'll return home in week 3. That'll be homecoming already versus Dyke New Hartford, and then back at home the following week with New Hampton. They go on the road to North Fayette Valley.
Can we go through our district schedule or district teams?
So same schedule as last year. So you go to Gardner next week. You're at home with Dyke. Week 3, week 4, you're at home with New Hampton. Week 5, you go on the road out to West Union to take on North Fayette Valley. And then you stay on the road in week 6. You travel over to Cresco, play the Cadets, back at home in week 7 versus Waukon. And then you finish out the regular season, week 8, making the trip down to Oline. And then top 4 teams in the district get a playoff game in week 9. If you don't make the playoffs, you have the option of playing a week 9 game versus another team who didn't make the playoffs. And you can also play a team outside your classification. Osage in Class 2A, they wouldn't necessarily have to play a 2A team. Most times in week 9, they do find a team, say, from your sister district to play. But Osage trying to get back to the playoffs this year. They just missed it last year, had a couple of close defeats. I mean, Osage we talked about it a lot last year. You're about 3 or 4 plays away from possibly being district champions last year to you didn't make those few plays and you ended up in the 5th spot. So,
right.
And I think the district this year is going to be another wide open district. I mean, Wacon's always a football power in Class 2A, so you're going to look at them as being a district favorite.
They were kind of junior heavy last year, so they got a good.
I believe North Fayette Valley does return some kids from a year ago, so
yep.
I mean the Tiger Hawks will be a tough team. Cresco always, I mean they rebuild. They're a bigger school and. They lose some guys from last year's team, but Osage and Cresco have had some great battles over the last few years. Trying to think who else in the district. New Hampton, I mean, they lose their star all-state running back, Braden McShane. Talking with a couple of guys over there I know very well over in New Hampton. They feel like they're on the smaller side of things this year, kind of like an Osage, so that'll be a heck of a matchup in Week 4 to open up district play. I think that'll be your true test to see kind of where you stack up in this district.
Correct. Yeah, it's Week 1 is in the books. Go back to the drawing board, get some rest tonight, get some ice. Coach Kyle, he's gonna pour over film tonight. I'm sure of it. And start cutting some stuff up, and then you come in tomorrow, a little Saturday morning stretch maybe. Start thinking about the Cardinals, right? And see if you can get better from Week 1 to Week 2. That's usually the biggest jump on a football team is Week 1 to Week 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then, go on that. And then you got, I'm going to call it a fun contest with Dyke New Hartford to come in, right? It's one of those, it doesn't really cost you anything. It's another step up in competition. It only makes you better as you go because to compete with a team like that, which I personally think Dyke is going to be a very, very salty team in Class 1A. I believe that's where they're at. 1A.
Yeah, they're a classification below us.
Yep. And then, hey, good luck to the Saints on the rest of the year. I'm not sure who's in their district. I'm trying to think.
They'll have
West Hancock.
West Hancock will be the big one on their side.
Yep, it'll be probably Newman Catholic, Lake Mills.
Yep.
Bishop Garrigan, maybe.
I think they play 8-man now.
Is Bishop okay?
I think they're an 8-man school. Or at
It
least
seems
they
like
were
they go more west. North
Yep.
Union. North Union
Yep.
will probably be in there. And so that'll be a fun district to watch as they go through there. So, congrats to Coach Clevenger and the St. Ansgar Saints on starting the season off 1-0. And for Osage, it's kind of one of those you just not really holding your breath. You've been dealt a bad card on the hand to start the season, right? You lose your starting QB, and he was going to be a very big part of this offense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually very encouraged of what I saw.
Yeah, I mean, the guys that stepped up, Holahan did a tremendous job filling in that role as a quarterback to come in for Street.
Absolutely.
So he had some really good throws. I know he had a couple throws he probably wants back, but hey, you're going to get that in Week 1. And then I like what you saw out of the running backs. Brock Trees running hard as always. We got to see Gavin Mueller on the football field for the first time here in his varsity career. And then I love what we saw out of Severin Dodd.
Yeah,
Severin Dodd's going to be
Christensen flashed, Isaac Houdek. Shout out to the offensive line.
And, we don't give those guys enough credit. It all starts up front. Alex Mach in the center, but Bo Rage, Bo Taylor, Ledger Niels, Sawyer Brandow, those guys doing a great job. I mean, they gave Holahan a lot of time to throw. There wasn't a single sack in this game by either O-line, so those guys, you don't ever call their names that often, but they're the ones that deserve a lot of the credit. And, I feel like Osage, they're on the smaller side of things this year.
Yep.
Compared to the last couple years, but I feel like Coach Kyle and the crew, they're going to be happy with what they saw out of the O-line tonight.
Yeah, I think the tape will prove out. You got some first-time starters there. Sawyer Brando, I think, made a good impression of himself there at left tackle. And you know what we got with Machen and Taylor and Niels on the right side. Those guys have played a lot of football last year. All started.
Mm-hmm.
Couple in a new position, maybe they switch from left to right. But the guys on the other side, Bo Rage stepping in for the first time this year, and Sawyer Brando. they're just going to continue to get better. Work on that, and the coaches are going to work with them. And yeah, I didn't know what to expect tonight offensively. I knew St. Ansgar was going to be big. They're always physical. Could we get some yards in there? We did.
Yep.
I think we'll be just fine going forward.
Yeah, all in all, I think, there's always things you got to learn on. And for the most part, I think you came away healthy as you could. I mean, guys are cramping. But I don't think there was any major injury outside tonight. I could be wrong, but I think you cleared that hurdle, and you get ready. You put this behind you, and you get ready for Garner next week.
Absolutely. And like I say, I always look forward to the Garner game. That's just, like we talked about, two schools that know each other very well, have stemmed the tide over the years of staying in a Class 2A, of declining enrollments, and, you're an hour apart, basically, so it's not a terrible drive. Encourage y'all to come over and support the Green Devils.
If not, we're planning on being there here on GSPN.
Don Hoppel Field, I think, is over there, is an excellent venue for a football game. And so, we'll be there next week.
Should be there. I think so.
So, with that,
I think we'll just go ahead and wrap this up. Big thanks to all the sponsors again. As the year goes on, we'll get the commercials and everything, get them the spotlight they deserve. I mean, couldn't do this without the Booster Club sponsors. If you do want to, get one of your commercials or whatever here on these broadcasts, reach out to the Osage Booster Club. They'll tell you what you need to do, and we'll promote you all season long. But Josh, a lot of fun working with you. Big thank you to Madden Jacobs. He was our camera operator.
Did well.
I believe tonight. So thank you to Madden, and Barb Schwaman joined us at halftime. Thanks for her for adding to the broadcast. And Josh, I think we'll do it again.
We'll see what kind of celebrity we can get in for next half.
Yeah, we'll have to find somebody. But for Josh Olson and Madden Jacobs, I'm Nolan Peters. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, to the GSPN, and we'll talk to you again next week when Osage goes on the road to Garner Hayfield Ventura.